Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good morning. We're back. We're doing more sewing again, except this time I have arms. You're not gonna see what I mean for like a solid minute or two, but like, I'm very proud of myself. I'm going to probably have to make some alterations to these, because they're a little bit slippery, and I think it could be a little bit of a pain if I didn't. But heckin'. We have arms. Also, let me switch to at least a face cam. There you go. We go for this one. Oh, why am I so low? What happened? What? There we go. Welcome on in. I hope everyone's doing well. After stream yesterday, I have no idea what happened. I feel like I blanked out for like 8 hours. I'm sure I was busy. I'm just not sure what I was busy with. Oh dear. So I didn't finish the mushroom like I thought I would off stream, but positive. It means we can actually finish it on stream for once. Oh dear. And 20, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Actually, no, I was going to call you Story, wasn't I? Story, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. And Kath, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. I hope everyone's week has gone well. End of the heckin' week. Oh dear. Honestly, it's been the start of the week was pretty rough, but I feel like it's been a pretty good week. We made a whole VTuber. I've actually... I can't show it to you because, you know, it's not my VTuber. But I've also half made another one. Maybe that's what I did in the 8-hour blackout where I don't remember what happened yesterday. Yeah, I've actually been making another one alongside this one. But I can't, until they're debuting, I can't advertise who it's for or what it is or what it looks like, but I know that they'll debut pretty soon after I send it to them, so I'm trying to get it done nice and quickly. But yeah, you know how it is. Also, without spoiling too much, their VTuber has legs, which means I have to rig the bottom half of the VTuber, unlike this one, which is legless. Oh dear, so it'll take a little bit longer. But yeah, I can't show that one. That's a secret. I try to... Sometimes I rig other people's models on stream, but it's normally like with their express permission, where I'm like, hey, I want to make you a model. Is it okay if I make it live? Normally, though, what happens is I make models for other people offline, because that way they can debut it on their own channel. There's one that's still waiting to debut, but I think it might happen pretty soon, and that is like a really complex model, honestly. That was already been sent to its owner, though. They already have it. And then, yeah. One more. Very heckin' exciting. In the VTuber world, it's some VTuber lingo for you all, if you are not in the VTuber sphere. When someone does the art or the rigging for like a model, they're like mum. They're mum. They're the mother. They're mummy model maker kind of thing. I have a lot of children. Is what I'm saying. Also, some of my children might be dating, which... God, I can't handle it, but it's very funny. It's very, very funny. Oh dear, legless? You can't... I can't be, but I am. I've been legless for 3 days straight now. It's quite impressive. It's a record. And Luna, welcome on in and thank you for the lurk. I hope you have a lovely day. 2 seconds. It's nose blow time. This is what happens when I talk for a minute. Great. I love VTuber. You don't even see anything. It's all good. Oh dear. Right. I got my cup of tea. I got my arms. I have a feeling in the summer I'm gonna get very warm, but like, you know what? Comparatively, where we used to live, the summers were so warm. I was like at 40 degrees every day, so I think I can survive. And honestly, at this time of the year, it's lovely because it's so cold at the moment. We've actually been having like a lot of flooding in Wales, so if I'm keeping an eye, I think we'll be fine here. We are like pretty high up, but I am keeping an eye to make sure that we'll be fine because I know a lot of parks and like rivers. There's a really big river that goes down Wales. It goes through like the capital city, but it goes the whole way up the valley as well, called the River Taff, or the Tav. The Taff is broken. It broke its banks, and yeah, I don't live in the capital or the valleys, but like I'm keeping an eye because that's normally a pretty good indicator that that there's a lot of flooding happening, because that's a big river. So yes, I'm keeping an eye on the weather to make sure everything's okay. And if you do live in Wales or England, I hear there's been some flooding in England as well. I hope you're okay and that your house is safe, and yeah, and that you're good. We've had a bunch of tropical storms in New Zealand. It rained every day so far. Yeah. So I know yesterday, the reason, and it was bad, like it honestly started for me at least pretty much right after I finished stream. We had a whole month's worth of rain in less than 24 hours. And that's like one of our wetter months as well in 24 hours. And no one was ready for that. I don't know how to describe it. I guess it kind of like was like a storm. You couldn't see because it was raining so hard. It was like walking through waterfalls outside. And like, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. I'm so glad that we ended stream when we did, because I think I would have been a little worried to start stream. I don't think my power signal would have kept out in all of that. Like, it doesn't take a lot of rain to flood the internet box, and that was a lot of rain. But yeah, we had a whole month's worth in a day, and it was bad. And like, we also were getting it, like, I didn't see a single flash of lightning, like not a single one, but the thunder never stopped. It was this like continuous thunder, just like like constantly. And then like, because it was raining so hard and it was hitting the house, and like I guess it kind of just was like a storm, but like we weren't prepared for that. And yeah, it's burst a lot of the rivers, even the big ones that shouldn't be able to burst have burst. Most of parks are underwater at the moment, and unfortunately, obviously, like Wales especially is very hilly. So you have like the dips in the valleys and all of that kind of stuff. So if you live on the top of the hill, you're fine. But if you live at the bottom at the moment, my heart goes out to you. I hope you're safe. There are a lot of images floating around of people's houses just like knee deep in water, which, you know, because of the flooding. So yeah, I hope everyone is safe and okay. It's been raining in various strengths for over a week here. Glad I live on a hill. Yeah, we also live in like, I wouldn't say like on the top of a hill or anything like that. I've lived on the top of a hill before. And no, we're not on the top of a hill, but we're not low down either. We're pretty high up for sea level. So I don't think there's any history of this house ever flooding. And so touch wood, there never will be. But yeah, fluff. God damn it, ravens. You know what I mean? Sorry. Oh dear. Yeah. Fingers crossed, everything's fine. We've had a lot of really bad storms this year, so I did see a news story that there were like towns where all of the houses had flooded 3 times in a year, and again I'm like, I hope they're okay. That's hard. Oh dear. Jelly, how are you today, studio? Welcome on in. I'm good, thank you. Actually, can I show you what I got? Let me show you my new thing. I've got arms, and they're really long. Look how long my arms are. So now I have matching arms for my VTuber, or I guess more specifically, I have matching hands. The thing is, I wanted to get a shiny fabric because slime, right? I wanted slime shiny, but because it's shiny, they're a little bit slippery. So what I might end up doing is adding a couple of like similar color pads in like felt or something onto the end, just to have like a slightly stiffer surface to sew with. I can sew, and I've been practicing, and like that's fine, but I just think it'd be like a little easier to get like a good push if I need to go through like slightly thicker fabric. Prestigious appendages, thank you. Gloves are long, they are very long, very long gloves. I love them. They won't be able to move either, no one's, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like, so you get the report for the house when you're buying it, right? And it'll say like, has it flooded in the last like 5 years? Does it have a history of flooding? Has it ever flooded since? And like, if they write like it's flooded 3 times in 1 year, like no one's gonna want that house. Like that's, yeah. I like, understandably, like that's not, I don't think it's the person's fault, but like, yeah. Oh dear. Right, we are actually going to be doing these bits. I'm just gonna keep going, you know. Oh dear. Maya, Boba, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. It's Jelly though, it's Jelly. It's okay, I know people know my real name, but like, look at me. I'm a jelly. I'm a jelly lady. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. Oh dear. Yeah. It's been pretty rough here, but like, again, I'm safe, but I feel really bad for everyone who's having a really rough time at the moment. Like, it's of course all over the news and everything like that. Honestly, if the Taff breaks, it's very dramatic. That's a big river. Like, it's not as big as the Thames in London, but it's still very big. I know that it's flooded. Oh, did it say? I think it's flooded like half of Cardiff right now. Thankfully, it's like the less inhabited place, but like, I think it's flooded like half of Cardiff. Like, the entire park is underwater right now. Ah, dear. I don't think you're going to jelly. Yeah! We got slime. We actually only made this one this week. I've had other VTubers before. I've been making VTuber models for like 2 years now. But yeah, we only made this one this week. This is a newbie. There we go. Oh, oh. Ah, dear. The metamorphosis is complete. Arms. Yeah. Oh dear, Poggies! Yeah, I've been really enjoying making VTube models. I think it's been nearly 2 years since I made the first one. The first one I made was really simple. I made like the jelly emote, like the dancing or lurking emote that you just put in, yeah? I made like that as a VTube model, and it was janky because it was the first one I ever made. But I really liked it. And then I made a jellyfish girl, and then I made another jellyfish girl, and then I made another jellyfish girl. But now I've made just a jelly girl, like a girl who is made of jello. The evolution, you know? Oh, I also made like how my real body looks, but tireder. that was a good model. I like that one. Crazy how time flies. I know. Also, Shifty, are you doing all right? I hope you are good. Obviously, without doxing yourself. I hope you are good. I saw that there's been a lot of flooding in Wales today. I hope you are safe. Oh dear. We are fine. We live pretty high up, but yeah. Especially crafting gloves. I can't craft in gloves. Well, this is the thing that's a bit annoying, is that this is slippery, so like the needle like can go through the fingers quite easily. Fortunately, it's a very sharp needle, so like it will go through felt quite quickly. But I think just for like the ease of continuously doing this, I will just add a couple of little patches onto the end, so that basically I just need my pinching fingers, like these ones, to be like a little less slippery. And yeah. Other than that, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Just the pinching fingers are a bit slippy. For a moment, I wondered what you meant. Am I okay? It's like, wrong with me? Oh, the flooding, yeah. Yeah, like, I, you know, obviously, I think along with a lot of people, Wales have woken up to seeing the Taff breaking and all of the other smaller rivers breaking and massive floods. So I will say, the rain was very intense yesterday. I'm not at all surprised that there's flooding. Like, that was a lot of rain in a very short period of time. But yeah, I hope you are safe, and Bateman as well, of course. They didn't know about the Taff. Yeah, the Taff's broken. And you remember like a few years ago when it broke really badly? It's basically the same thing as that, although I think the flooding in Cardiff specifically has spread a little bit further than it did last time. Oh, that's what I have to be careful of. Let's not do that. I've sewn through my hand. Uh-oh. Wait 2 seconds. I can get this out. I just have to get the angle right. There it is. Ah, come on. I had it. Okay. I pull it out. There you go. Gotcha. Oh dear. Okay, careful. When will we evolve to crab? I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. Got a bill. Oh no, bless story. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that it goes really well. I pretty much live low, but almost finished the road. We have a pretty high ground now. That's good. I'm glad that you're at least like the way you're living is improving for flooding. I do think that's something that's going to have to happen here, because like it is getting quite like bad. But you need the resources to do that sort of thing. I don't know. Especially after the last couple of years, if Wales has the resources right now to prioritise the flooding. Now I'm fine, I don't know where I live never floods. Brilliant. Glad to heckin' hear it. Yeah, it's I don't know too many people that live in Wales, but then when I see that I'm like, oh, is everyone okay? Did anyone flood? Too bad for people who haven't raised their houses. Yeah, but it's like I think it's like it's one of those awkward situations where people that are flooding, you know, first of all, it's very difficult to move once your house is flooded, especially if it's been recent, because like no one's gonna buy your house, like Steve said earlier. But also they're having to then pay probably at least an excess, but like probably some of the damages depending on what their insurance is. Having to repair, and there are people this year who have flooded exactly the same 3 times. Like, that's hard. The river is high, but I've seen it high. Oh, have you? Okay, well that's, I mean, I'm glad that at least it's not too bad for you then. Oh dear. Here, we're very lucky, I think, that we live on a hill, because it was raining so hard yesterday that you couldn't see out the house. Like actually, like the rain was so intense. And I know that a lot of areas around me have flooded, but I myself will probably continue to be fine because we live pretty high up. I'm glad to hear maybe it's not quite so dramatic near you. That's good. Oh dear. Our house has a chronic history of flooding for the past 100 years or so. So I've been part of the cleanup for a couple of pretty bad ones. Was real motivated not by nearest. Like, yeah, I am literally exactly the same as you. So where I grew up, I love the house I grew up in, but like it once flooded on Christmas Eve, and like it wasn't a bad one. Like it was just like the carpet was wet, but it definitely encouraged me to keep an eye on where rivers are and like stuff like that, because moving the Christmas tree and all the stuff downstairs on Christmas Eve, and it's like I just want to enjoy Christmas. Why? Oh dear. So yeah, when we were looking for a house ourselves, that was like one of my main things, is like, where's the closest river? Are we up from the closest river? All that kind of jazz, because yeah, I didn't want to get caught in that situation where like we're having to move stuff upstairs on Christmas Eve or anything. Okay, the canal too. Oh really? Ooh. I feel like that's quite an expensive upgrade. I'm glad to hear they're giving it that kind of thought and effort. Not quite there. There, looks good. Wow. And one. I'm gonna be an expert at sewing in gloves by the end of this. New skill acquired. Can now sew in gloves. Also, Felitas, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. We are making a little Halloween toadstool. So we actually started this yesterday, but I ended up streaming because I didn't want to get ill and I want to be careful. But like, look at it. It's so sparkly. You see that? You see that sparkle? What? So we're adding all the texture on the top of the toadstool right now. Yeah. Also, this is our new VTuber model. I made it on Monday. You have arms that look. Look at my shiny, shiny arms. There's a couple of alterations I'd like to make to them. Specifically, I want to have little grippy pads, maybe like little thimbles almost over the top of the fingers, so that there's a little bit more grip at the end of them. I might also, you can see the fingers are quite square. I might round them off a little bit, just so that, well, actually, I guess if I'm putting something over the little hat over top of them, that might round them off. But just so that my thumb and finger specifically have like good grip, because this is what you use these two when sewing. So I just need these two to grip well. Yeah. Oh dear. I thought it was at least past 8 foot. Oh god. Oh dear. Firearms for shooting? No firearms. I don't have firearms. That's a very different kind of arm for leaders. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Finger holes. Well, I would get holes, but I kind of want to keep up the illusion of like slime. So I think rather than holes, I'll probably go down just the finger cap avenue, you know? Having a little cap over my fingers. I think that's more what I'm looking for. Bonk. I'm also going to get some new thread. Now, I don't know if I can thread a needle in gloves. That might be a little difficult for me. Oh, also fine if you're flammable. Oh, Also, baby should be. Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, I was like, I was thinking of you two when I saw the news this morning. I was like, I hope they're both okay. But I figured if one of you was okay, the other one probably would be. Okay. And what? 1, 2, and then whoop, whoop, and then all right. Now's the real test. Can I thread a needle like this? And not just can I thread a needle, can I thread a beading needle? Beading needles have really, really small eyes. There we go. Remove finger caps. Remove when threading a needle. Yeah. Well, I probably don't want to remove them when threading a needle. I think I'd want them the whole time. Alright, let's get this off there. Alright. Needle. Thread. Ah, oh, dear. Doing studies at the moment. Next 2 months will be intense. Oh, bless you. With 11 exams? Good luck. I hope that they go well. You got this. Watch the news, couldn't be me. I get it when I load up my computer in the morning. Whether I likes it or not. It's part of my startup. Oh. I got it! I did it! I did it! I threaded the needle with the gloves on. Yay! And that's a beading needle. That's already a hard needle to thread. Hell yeah. Okay, you know what? That's easily my achievement for the day. If I achieved nothing else today, I've done a good hacking job. Yes, new level acquired. That's how it feels. It feels like I just leveled up. Okay, I'm just making sure that it's what do you call it? Because I twisted it a little bit when I was threading it. To make sure it's not too twisty. There we go.
Number one,
tampon in steak. Thank you. I also celebrate like that too. Deserve a raise up, thank you. I heckin' deserved that raise. Alright, let me trim the tail of the knot off. It is a bit of a bigger tail than normal, but listen, I take the small wins. There you go. Right, let's get the needle back in again. I think one thing I will struggle with is if it knots at all, I might have to take it to one side. Like, hey. None of that, Oh dear. Twisty. There we go. Actually, there you go, you can see it now. Trying to get through there. Oh, thank you for the egg and welcome on in, Scott. I hope you're doing well. I just threaded a beading needle with gloves on. I'm feeling very, very accomplished. I guess you're having a bad day, Delcy. Welcome on. No, actually, I think I look pretty damn hot today. I'm choosing to use the VTuber because we made it on stream and I want to showcase the work we did for people that haven't been able to see it yet. And also I have new arms. Dear Jaws, welcome on in. Jaws, I'm assuming you're probably quite busy because I know a sweet bean is live right now. But I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Ah, dear. Looking hot? Always. Always looking hot. What do you think of my arms? Look at that! Look at this arm! George, I just threaded the needle, and not only did I thread the needle, I thread a beading needle with these silky gloves on. I'm very, like, that's the achievement of the year. I know we're only a couple days in, but like, I don't think I can hit much higher than that. That's crazy. I threaded a beading needle with silky satin gloves. Oh dear. Heck, an achievement that is. The wettest streamer and oh my god. True. Getting the wettest streamer and the slimiest streamer in one place. Heck. What a weird coincidence. Ah dear. There you go. Oh. Also, I don't know what I said, but Happy New Year, Delcy. I don't think I've had a chance to wish you a Happy New Year yet. There we go. Ah dear, what's this, a crossover episode? Hell yeah. It's got arms, like regular arms with hands, but on fire. But not firearms, I don't have any of those. To the FBI that are, you know, inevitably listening at this point. Not a single firearm, don't worry. My arms are just fire. No firearms. I will probably get to some elastic at the top of them so they don't fall down as easily as well, but they're very long. Look at my long arms. They're so long. Oh dear. Again, long arms. There you are. Oh dear. No firearms. No firearms. Not a single firearm. Not in this stream. Oh, to be fair, I think it is part of like being British, right? And maybe in a lot of countries as well, like other countries in Europe too, where guns aren't particularly common. Seeing a gun is really spooky. Like when I was going to the US Embassy a lot, they have big guns at the US Embassy in London, like the big ones. And like it's not quite so much as it was because like they've moved building now. I guess I'm more talking about the old building because the new building it's a lot more hidden. But the old building, you'd get off the train, walk down the street, and there's something like 20 guards with like assault rifles, and you're like, which is like not normal in the UK at all. But because obviously it's technically like American soil and they're protecting the embassy, and it's so weird. And like I get it, I understand why it's there and they're there. And they've always been really friendly because you have to speak to them to get into the embassy. You can't just walk in. So like you go up and talk to them and be like, hey, I have an appointment. Here's my passport, here's my American stuff. Because you use your American passport to get into the American embassy kind of thing. You know how it is. Like here's all of my documents, yada yada. And they're there with these massive guns and you're like, I promise it's all legit, please. But they've always been really friendly. But it's just the visual of it is quite scary. Alcohol and tobacco though. Wait, I don't neither. I'm sorry, I'm very boring. I like mead, but I don't drink it very often. I'm not really a big drinker. Happy New Year to you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I hope everyone's New Year's goes really, really well. Like the last few years have been a bit meh. I think it's time for like, you know, a restart. Oddly, you don't see guys like that pretty much anywhere in the US. Yeah, I don't. This is the thing. Is like, it's very intimidating. The first time we went, I remember just being like, because I was with my family at the time because we all had some business there. I was so shocked. And like, I didn't do most of the talking then, someone else did, but I was like, they're really friendly, but I don't know how I talk to someone who just has like a massive gun in their hands. Oh dear. There's no concerns with you then. Yeah, it's true. They never shot me, so I guess it's all good, but like, oh my god, very spooky. On the Glaswegian airport, there's a lot of big guns too. Oh, the big guns are just very scary to me. And again, I think it is just because I'm not used to seeing guns at all. Like, no one in the UK really has guns. So you just don't see guns outside of like movies. And so like seeing that many like assault rifles in one place is like absolutely terrifying. Oh dear. It is definitely an experience. I'd say the new embassy is a little different. If you're going to the embassy in London, they've changed buildings. So first of all, the building's a bit further out of the way, so it's not like in the middle of a town centre. kind of looking place. It's like it's out of the way. It's more in like an industrial district now, and also the whole thing is like mirrored glass around the outside until you get to the main building. So there's like not so many guards wandering around. You have to actually get into the courtyard, and then there's more people. But like it means like from the outside it's not quite so intimidating, and you have to like knock on the glass to let someone let you in. At least that's what happened to me. It was really quiet the last day that I went as well. Like, I was walking through this massive glass building and there was no one there. It felt very much like I'd gone to another world. Although I guess technically I had gone to another country. Technically. Shocked. When I went to Korea, really caught me off guard. Yeah, it is. It's one of those things you're just not used to seeing it. First time I ever saw large firearms. They weren't pistols on the hips of police officers. Oh, they were on a... Oh, okay. Well, I saw about 3 or 4 soldiers. Jeez, that's scary as well. Also, Jason, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I don't have sound alerts off anymore. I should change that Nightbot thing. And NT, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the lurk. Jelly, please do not tap the jars and do not feed the guards. But you had to. So, like, there was no one around the outside. And it's like the whole building is surrounded by, like, this glass collar almost. And, like, in the glass, there are doors, but you can't see them. They don't look like doors because every single panel looks the same. So you just kind of have to walk up and down around the edge until someone thinks you're trying to get in, and then they'll open one of the glass panels and be like, "You here for a reason? Why are you here? State your business." And it's like, I have an appointment, please let me in. And then they let you in, and you go through like airport security, and they check all your passports and stuff, and then you're allowed in. But yeah, like that was the last experience I had. Was like I had that happen twice, where you just kind of like wander around the outside until someone opens a panel and it's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, please let me in. Whereas before they had gates, so you at least knew where the entrance was. Oh god, it's weird. I will say as well, and this is nothing against the embassy itself and the people that work there and all of that, like, because that was honestly pretty okay. Now I actually preferred like how the new embassy was working, but it's so ugly. I don't know who designed that building, but ugh, god, it's grim. I've seen some ugly buildings, but the current US embassy, like, I feel like America could do better. Like, that's a gross building. It's so ugly. It's got really pretty like grounds, like the gardens around the outside are beautiful, but it's just the building itself is so ugly. And like I love architecture, and like I am not easy to like discuss this much. Oh dear. Once saw police officers in Cologne patrolling was, yeah, and it's so intimidating. Again, I don't know how common this is in other parts of the world, but I can say it's not common here. Like you sometimes see a policeman on a horse. That's about as dramatic as it gets. Yeah, like having like 20 people walking around with assault rifles is not normal. And yeah, Pause me, but thank you. Damn, it's so ugly. I see if I can get a picture of it actually, and we can post it in the Discord later. But like, oh, I can post it in the Discord now. Actually, wait 2 seconds. It would be. I don't want the old American embassy. The old one was nice. It's just in a weird place. Let's see, London. Gah! Yeah, it's just... Alright. That is what I want. I want you to get the full picture of what it looks like. And also, like, this gives an idea of, like, the area it's in. Like, I don't know why they did this. Also, I can't get you the close-up. So, when you get close up to it, all the glass panels are covered in stars. Okay, this will do. I'm just gonna put this in downloads. There you are. Have a download, and then I'm gonna put this in the live stream chat so you can all blah along with me. Unless maybe you love it, in which case, fair enough. Everyone has different taste. Oh, that's a web link, is it? Oh, I don't want to do that. Ah, shoot, I thought I had a good picture. How about this one? Yeah, there we go. Alright, should be uploading now. Hey, there you go. So what it's not telling you is that all the glass is covered in tiny, tiny stars and stripes. Tiny, tiny stars and stripes all over it. Yeah, and they're really small, and I love tacky. I love tacky things. I've said this many times. I love a good bit of tack, you know? But it's so tacky. And like, for reference, the old American Embassy building had like a massive like stone eagle over the top of it and like all this gold detailing. And yeah, like it was a very old fashioned building. It looked like a 200-year-old building, and it was beautiful, and it had like columns and pillars, and like it was really, really cool. And then they were like, let's move to this new building, and it's like, ugh, it's so gross. And it's like, and then not only is it like the shapes that they've chosen, but then the fact that all the glass is covered in stars and stripes, and then it's on these teeny tiny little stilts. These teeny tiny little stilts. Like, what is that? And then yeah, it's in like an industrial district, so like everything else is like, oh, it's not even reflecting anything beautiful. It just reflects more industry. And I gross. I like one bit. I like the jester side of the building. I don't like that. It's just a giant Minecraft clip in the, yeah, United States of America. Do you see what I mean though? I'm like, I feel like that is the main embassy in the UK. So like even if you're in Wales, like I was this whole time, if I needed to sort any of my paperwork out, I went there. Everyone went there. All American citizens living abroad in the UK will have to go to that embassy, right? To sort out their passports and documents and all that kind of stuff. It's so gross. I just don't understand it. Like, America being such a big place and like having so much like interesting stuff, why is that their building? It's gross. Like the old building they had was much better as far as like design goes. This one, ugh. And like I've not had a single American who's gone there because I have some other American friends say anything good about it. Also, getting in is a pain in the ass. I mean, I get it, they don't want people just walking in, but like if you have an appointment, trying to like gesture to someone to like open a glass panel is like, ugh. I don't know if that's so much the fault of the architect though. Also, the Caramel, welcome on in. I had a lovely time chilling. I know that the runs maybe weren't ideal, but I had a lovely time chilling there regardless yesterday. All of our embassies seem weird to me. Yeah, you posted that. Is that the Canadian embassy? Oh no, it's US. Sorry. I read Canberra's Canadian. It looks like a mansion. Yeah, but at least it's not ugly. Listen, it does look like a manor house, but it's not ugly, you know? Oh dear, Peter's a chill stream most of the time. Hell yeah. Also, thank you for that hydrate. I do actually have a cup of tea just off to the side. And the hick. Welcome on in, Braid. I hope you're doing well. We're talking about the American Embassy in London, but also I will happily talk about any other American embassies or embassies in general. You might have made a mistake. Did you become American? You'll have to go to that ugly heckin' embassy. And the thing is, if maybe I hadn't seen the previous embassy, I wouldn't feel so strongly about it. But like, yeah, no, the previous one looked alright. This one, gross. I don't understand. And like, because I've been to both, I kind of thought the second one would be an upgrade, and it just wasn't. Worst mistake of my life. Just kidding. You have to go to that embassy now, and it's gonna be all these people with assault rifles. Like, oh my god. Honestly, I should have taken like some people with me. You wouldn't have been allowed in without an American passport. But just so you could have the experience of someone with an assault rifle peeking their gun out of like a two-way mirror and being like, hey, what's your business? So you can see what it's like. Oh dear. Embassy in the US also, it represents the country. It's the same here, yeah. There's embassy in the Netherlands. It's just a massive compound. Pretty sure it's bigger than most official. Oh, it's big? Okay. Yeah, because you can see in the picture, like, it's not even as big as, like, the apartments nearby. Oh, dear. But then again, I will say, when I went, it was also very empty. The old embassy was quite busy, but this one, But then, no wait times, so that was good. Alright, okay. In The Hague, right? Ooh. Do you have a link to the Discord? Oh, !Discord or !socials, and you'll get the link to the Discord. We don't have it underneath the stream anymore because if you have it underneath the stream, people who are banned can get in your Discord. And like, we don't ban people very often, so that if they do get banned, it's normally for something pretty bad, and I don't want them in the Discord. There it is. Oh, is it not? Oh, socials, I think. Multiples. I have faux fur for... You've lost your dog. Oh no, the bread. Hell. That's kind of amazing though. You've created doggo camouflage. Oh no, there it is. Oh dear. And now in Wasner, which is a bit further out, but they needed the ground space. Yeah, that's kind of what happened in London. They were like pretty close to the centre. There is one downside though, really, to where they've moved. And that is that there is only one place in the centre of London where you... No, two. But they're both in like the centre of London where you can get American passport pictures. So to go into the American embassy, you need your American passport set up, or you need to like be getting your passport, one or the other, you know? And yeah, there's only a couple places in London where you can get the correct size images for an American passport to get them properly printed, and they've moved the building really far away from those. So you now have to travel across London, like go all the way to the other side to get your pictures, and then right back to the embassy, which, because you can't have your pictures done at the embassy, it has to be done at like this passport booth. Yeah. They're like now on opposite sides of London, which is a bit of a shame, because where they used to be was you could walk to the from the like photo place to the embassy, like they were in walking distance. That's not the case anymore. It's like the little things, I guess, you don't think about until you have to get a passport sorted. Pain in the ass. Send an image. Oh. Dog. 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 Oh my god, it's perfect. That's like spot on. Oh dear. I know I'm asking about the city centre thing. It's not really attractive to enter though. Well, I don't think you're meant to want to enter the American embassy, because like also it's a really boring place to go. Like it's just paperwork and documents, but like you should be able to know where the entrance is. I feel like there's a fine line. The gloves are pretty cool, but how dexterous do you find them for sewing? Okay, listen, it is more difficult. However, achievement of the hecking year, I threaded a beading needle with these on just a minute ago. Beading needles have like some of the smallest eyes for needles just ever. They're really, really small, really fine eyes, and I threaded it with my gloves on, and it only took like a minute, and I'm very proud of myself. Tried to be safe but not appealing. Yeah, damn, they said you're the straight thread. They do. Like, it's a pain. Like, before you could just walk from one to the other, whereas now you can't. Also, because it's an industrial estate, so basically when you're doing stuff for the embassy, like when you're going, there's a lot of waiting. There's a hell of a lot of waiting. You put in your documents, you sit down, you give it a number and you wait. And then you'll be told to move to another area, and then you'll give it another number and you wait. So you could be there, I think normally I was there for about 2 or more hours every time I had to do something. Sometimes even longer than that. I think one time I was there for like 6 hours, but like, yeah, you're there for a while whenever you're getting your paperwork sorted. It's not like an in and out kind of thing. You don't just drop it off. The downside is that because it's an industrial estate, there's like no cafes. You can't go and get a coffee and bring it in with you unless you bring it from really far, because you can bring food in, but like there's nowhere to get food. So you just kind of sit there like hungry and thirsty, waiting, and if you don't bring any snacks with you, I think there's a little like supermarket store, like a tiny Tesco or something nearby, and that's about it. So like, yeah, another small downside is if you get hungry, we'll get fucked. Oh, the US Embassy in Sweden. Oh, I normally get weirded out by the tiny handgun, but this is like securely okay. Is it only a small handgun for you? We have assault rifles here. Why do you only have to deal with a hand? Wait a second. This seems unfair. Ah, dear. Pretty soon you can't get a passport for a while because the people working there are refusing to work. Oh god, also anime, welcome on in. Yeah, there's a very, very long wait list to do anything at the embassy. Like, and also, most people I think that are going to the embassy, they're either like sorting out their kids, like they've had like a newborn and they're a dual citizens, so they're sorting out their kids' documentation, or they're renouncing their citizenship. It's like, especially the areas that I'd be in, it was normally one or the other, and they really don't want you to renounce your citizenship. So your waits will be like, I know someone who's been waiting over a year, like, just to go to the embassy and have an appointment to like hand in their documents kind of thing. I know when I did it, it took about not quite a year, but like it took nearly a year for the process to even like to start. It's something, but I did it, and it's nothing against America personally or anything like that. Like, it's just like I won't be able to live in America with the health conditions that I have and be able to afford medication. So like I knew immediately that I would never be able to use that citizenship, and it can be like a little bit of a pain later in life. So I got rid of it early. I'd still like to visit America as a tourist though. I go around America as a tourist, just not as a citizen. There's no reason for me to have that citizenship. Oh dear. A year's could just change a couple letters around. Ah, okay. Oh dear. The Dutch embassy I have to go to is pretty relaxed. I've never been there for more than 15 minutes. Oh, that's pretty good. Like, I'll be honest, it takes 15 minutes just to get through security at the American one. And thank you for the lurk. Definitely not tax reasons. I have never earned enough to be taxed by America. However, they did tax me anyway because they told me I filled the sheet in wrong when I hadn't. I literally filled it in exactly the same as I had the year before, and they were like, "You filled it in wrong, so here's a $500." I think they didn't tax me. They fined me $500 for filling in something incorrectly. And then I called them. The line was no longer active, so I sent them a letter. And then once I got the letter back, they were like, "Yeah, too late. Also, you know, it's such an insignificant amount of money that we wouldn't send it back to you anyway." And I was, $500 is not insignificant to me. So yeah, after that I was already thinking like I'll get rid of it because, you know, I'll never be able to use it. But then when they fined me for their mistake and then refused to send me the money back because I had to send them a letter and that was too slow, and then the amount of money wasn't you know, significant to them, I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Get me out of this country. I'm done. Oh dear. I also know that most of the embassies in Canberra are in their own little corner of the city, except surrounded by houses. I mean, do they look nicer? I feel like if you're surrounded by houses, you kind of have to look nicer, right? Because you're in the middle of everything. Oh dear. Confused. You love the hands. Hell yeah. And Teresa, welcome on in. The mushroom looks nice. Thank you. Oh dear. Yeah, we've been talking a little bit about embassy trips. Normally you'd only ever go to an embassy if you're a dual citizen, so I don't know how relatable this is to a lot of people in chat. But like, yeah. I will say I've not had any bad experiences. It's just slow for the most part and expensive. I've said this before, but there's a few things I really disagree with how America does. One of them is the way that it taxes and also charges its citizens to remove their citizenship. So if most places, there is like fees, especially when it comes to updating your passport and all of that kind of stuff. There are normally fees, but America, it's extortion. And like, they also they times the price by 10 overnight, and I bet like not a single American citizen knew what that happened. It is only the ones abroad that were affected. It used to be £250 or dollars, I should say, $250 and an up-to-date passport to renounce your citizenship, and then overnight it became $2,400 and an up-to-date passport to renounce your citizenship. And they just changed it overnight. So people the day before would have paid $250, people the next day would have paid $2,500. And yeah, it's because they think people are announcing the citizenship to avoid being taxed because they're like billionaires and they have lots and lots of money and they just don't want to be taxed. But no, I'm sure there are some billionaires that do that, but the majority of people with American citizenship, I want to say, are not billionaires. And the most of people that are living with American citizenship abroad are people like me who just got caught up in it because of birth stuff. And yeah, it's a something. Fancy clothes, thank you! We're blue now. To rob the American government because they robbed you, I know, right? But I won't. I'm gonna be a good bean. And honestly, like, it's not a problem for me anymore. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not my problem. I do think that it's a bit scummy because I don't think anyone else has to pay that much to renounce their citizenship, even close. But yeah. And also, oh, if you say that you're renouncing for tax benefits, they will refuse you to renounce. You're not allowed to renounce because you don't want to be taxed by two countries. So America has a system where they tax their citizens that live abroad as well. So most of the time, you will only get taxed by the country that you reside in, like you live in, right? Because that's normal. If I live in England, I get taxed by England. If I live in Wales, I get taxed by Wales. If I live in Spain, I get taxed by Spain. But no, if you're an American citizen, you get taxed by the country that you live in as well as America. So like if your income tax is like, so say like every month you're taxed on your paycheck like £200. Well, add some on because America's also taxing that paycheck. And yeah. But if you say that's the reason that you're renouncing, they will refuse you. You're not allowed to renounce for that reason. Even though it means that like there is always the possibility that people like living abroad as Americans could get paid less than minimum wage because of that taxing, that can't be the reason. Oh dear. Local streamer steals a declaration of independence when asked. She responds, it's not a significant amount to return. Yeah, I'm not a billionaire, not at all. What reason do you have to give them? There are lots of reasons, honestly. I'll be honest, unless you're planning to live in America, having an American citizenship is actually quite bad. There's a lot of reasons to renounce. For me, I said, honestly, the truth, I can't live in America because of my health reasons. You have to like write like an essay, by the way, to explain it yourself. Explain yourself. Why do you not want to be American, huh? So I explained that due to my health conditions, they would keep me in this country, likely for my entire life, that it is a waste for me to have this citizenship, and so I would like to get rid of it. It does just complicate things as well, like most dual citizenships don't get in the way of like working and stuff like that, but America is a pain. It's a pain one to deal with. I know there's one other citizenship in the world that does it, and I can never remember which one it is. But most citizenships act completely different. America is the only one that does this. And again, it's because they think every American, like the only reason you'd live abroad as an American is if you're a billionaire, right? Which I honestly weirdly says a lot about what the higher ups think of their country. But sure, okay, whatever. But no, I'd love to visit America as a tourist. I just don't want to live there. Oh, and also I can't, like I wasn't lying. I can't afford my medication in America, so like I'm not going to be living there. Oh dear. I was born as an American citizen, yeah, despite my accent. I was born in the UK, but with America stuff, if you are born to one American parent, or two American parents, whichever, you will be immediately born as an American citizen. And then you'll have dual citizenship with whichever country that you're born in. So you only need to have one parent, but I think one or two regardless. But like, yeah, if you're born in another country that isn't America, you're still American. And when you're 21, you start paying those taxes. Shifty was there, I think, when I found out. I think Shifty was there when I got the letter in the post being like, you're 21 now, time to start paying taxes. Oh, I was still at the university. Oh dear. Yes, Jelly was until Jelly became a billionaire, and then I became a billionaire, and now I'm not American anymore. It's weird. It's such a weird system because you'd think you'd want billionaires to keep paying taxes to you, but the way that America's got it set up, no billionaire is going to stay an American citizen. They're just going to leave America, and they'll still sell to America and do stuff in America, but they'll do it as like an expat, not as a citizen, because why would you stay a citizen when they tax you so highly? When you can move to the UK, renounce your citizenship. Because this is the thing, if you're a billionaire, $2,500 is nothing comparatively to the amount you'd be taxed on your income. So, yeah. It's a really weird system because they do it to try and prevent people from renouncing, but then the people that would they actually want to keep so that they can tax the actual billionaires, they're all just going to leave. And you get people like me caught in the net who don't really have a choice, but also don't earn enough to like have it really be too much of a problem. Oh dear. Oh, that's a weird embassy. It's CPU cooler. Renouncing a Dutch citizenship requires a passport or ID, both foreign and Dutch, a letter to the social security bank, and there's no costs. Oh, but that's like normal, right? Like normally you'd see having dual citizenship to be a benefit, right? Because of travel and like being able to work abroad and stuff like that. Normally it's a benefit. It's only America that makes it like a pain in the ass. Also, Dave, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the follow. But again, like I want to visit America, but as not a citizen, as just a tourist. Let me tourist around the place. Because my dad was Irish? No. Teresa, it's only America that does this. You're not an Irish citizen because you weren't born in Ireland. It's only America. So America become citizens if they're born abroad. Yeah. You keep your citizenship. You're the same as you were. Which, honestly, at this point would probably be easier. It's tough because billionaires are also effectively not taxed at all, even if they are citizens. That is true. But the reasoning that they gave for the up in cost was specifically because of billionaires living abroad. Like, they 10 times the cost to renounce overnight. But yeah, it was only really people like me that get caught in the net. Like, regular, normal hacking people. I don't want to get too political with this as well, because this is something that is quite annoying. I'm sure a few of you can guess the president that was in power when that change came in. It wasn't Obama. Obama was actually helping to make it easier for expats and people living abroad. But then something changed. Something changed. I don't want to say exactly what it was, but something changed. And it made every American living abroad their life so much harder. And it made it overnight. Like, overnight changes that wouldn't have been announced to a single American. It wasn't announced to me. And I'm the one that it would affect. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad, but it was legal and there's nothing we could do about it. And I feel like most Americans won't know that this was happening to the citizens living abroad and might not realize, like, if they decide to live abroad, the kind of problems that they're going to have now. Oh my gosh, agreed on it being annoying. Very annoying. Got Norwegian embassy. See, that's the thing, is like, I just think that they could have done better in the UK. Like, the gardens are cute. They have a cute little waterfall feature. But, like, the building itself, it kind of ruins it. It ruins the gardens. You get the citizenship of the country you were born in, but if your parents were from a different country, you're eligible to apply for dual citizenship. Unless you're American, in which case it's forced on you. You can't, like, I didn't get a choice. I think, yeah, Shifty, you were part of that. Like, I really didn't want to be an American citizen because I knew about all the stuff with taxing. I had no choice. I got documents from America being like, taxes, yeah? I didn't even know they knew where I lived. I never applied to be an American citizen. I got my first American passport when I was like 21. Oh dear. And like, my whole family were like, bugger. We didn't want this for you. I'm so sorry. Like, I got a phone call from Mama Jelly being like, hey Jelly, I'm really sorry about this, but we got a letter and I think I know what this letter is, and you need to come and have a look at this because you might not be as British as we thought you were. And ooh, and I was like, Mom, what do you mean? Oh my god. Yeah, it's a system and a half. Again, I don't want us to come across as me being like super anti-America. I'm super anti a couple of politicians that made my life a lot harder. Automatically, when these one person I started born on the island. Something changed when the Fire Nation. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I didn't know about the cost, but all I did know about the tax requirements. Yeah, so the tax requirements have not changed too much, to be honest. It's mainly the cost to like get rid of it that's changed. Because again, it used to be so much cheaper and like dramatically cheaper. When they finally revoked the citizenship, did they arrest you for trespassing? You have to leave immediately. So they give you the documents. They give you, it literally looks like a receipt. They give you a receipt, and then they'll get in the post. So you technically remain a citizen until you receive the documentation in the post. But you leave immediately, you go home, you wait for the renouncing document, and then you have to keep that, like, forever. But I think you can request new ones if anything happens to it, but best to keep it safe. Oh dear. Expires in you, yeah, they could get that information from the UK government more realistically, and they start a timer, yeah. It was very unfortunate. Also, tax return forms are a pain. They're like they ask all these questions, especially when you're not earning very much. It feels like you're constantly having to prove that you pay taxes to your country. And yeah, like one time they got it wrong and they still had to go at me for it. And they don't have a phone line from the UK anymore, or maybe they do now, but like back when I was handing in, they were like, at the bottom of the form it'd say, if you're having any problems or you think a mistake's been made, call this number. You call this number and it's like, this line is no longer active, and you're like, well, what am I meant to do then? They roll a giant boulder down the steps and you have to outrun it. Hell yeah. Give you 5 freezer minutes to leave. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, there you go. I'm happy I don't want to go to any embassies unless I want to get some Central Africa or Central Asia countries. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, honestly, it's just very boring. I'm complaining a lot. Mainly, it's just boring. It's like a really boring thing to have to do. It takes a really long time. At least, again, it sounds like others are like a bit more of a walk in, walk out, but like the American ones they're slow. They do have a lot of queues, like a lot of people waiting, and they do have limited staff, so it's like, it's definitely not anyone's fault, but like, if you're considering renouncing your citizenship, like just start now, because you're going to be waiting at least a year, and you can always cancel during that time. But like, yeah, they also tax your inheritance and stuff like that. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's really scummy that they do that, honestly. Even though I've never lived in America and I will never live in America, they'll tax any inheritance I get from my British relatives as well. So yeah. Oh, and if anyone gifts you like larger amounts of money, you're only allowed to be gifted a certain amount of money a year. And I don't think it's that high. I don't know. I know that I never reached it, but I think it's also like another thing. Like, say for instance, you're in a really good position and your parents are going to give you like money for a mortgage or money towards a mortgage, and you're an American citizen, they can tax that. Yeah. It's something. It's something. I don't agree with it, but it's something. Oh dear. Yeah, there's actually like a lot of like this is what I mean when I'm like, there's a lot of reasons why having an American citizenship kind of it not in America. I'm sure in America it's fine, but out of America, kind of sucks ass, to be honest. Oh dear. So when are y'all gonna visit? I have a bunch of plane ticket credit for COVID. Oh, wait, really? Oh, do they give credit? Honestly, it's good that they gave you something towards that. I've heard of people just losing thousands of quid for like COVID and then get anything in return. I'm glad that you at least got some sort of like credit. I don't know when I'm gonna be going to America. I'd love to go to America, to be honest. Like, there's a few things. First of all, I still have a lot of family in America, so like I'd like to visit my family. It's just traveling's a little bit difficult for me at the moment. Honestly, going to Amsterdam was a really good experience because like it was an experience where I traveled and I also didn't die or end up in A&E or anything like that, because I haven't traveled without having to go to a hospital in literally years. I'm a little bit fragile, and unfortunately traveling is a little bit difficult. Even going to London this year, although I will say it's complicated. It's bad luck, but also I know why it happened, and it was like pretty much unavoidable. When I went to London MCM, I got really, really bad food poisoning, but I also didn't. It was just my body shutting down. It's a little complicated, and I don't really want to go too much into it, but like there was physically nothing I would have been able to do to avoid what happened to me, and I spent more time in A&E than I did at the convention. Because my stomach just shut down. And it was first of all very unpleasant, but also like that's what I'm used to happening when I do anything. I'm just used to like these days just dying, and yeah, it's a little bit intimidating traveling because of that. But TwitchCon was a really good experience because I got there. I had a couple of rough days, I'm not gonna lie. There were 1 or 2 days where I was definitely not very well. However, I would say for the majority of the time that I was there, I was pretty good. And we got there safely and we got back safely, and we have to travel over 2 days if we're traveling further. So like to get there, we traveled to London the first day and then we traveled to Amsterdam the next day. Just to try and avoid like me having any problems as much as possible. America's quite a long way away. But I'd really, really like to go. I want to visit my family. I really want to go see them, but it is what it is. My family understand as well, I should say. Like, everyone's very, very understanding. Like, they know what's wrong. They totally get it. But I'd love it if I could go across. But yeah, I'd probably need some support, and it'd probably be a little difficult, even now. But soon. Hopefully this year I'll get a little bit better. And then the thing is, it's more just a combination of I have so much going on that it's like, is it worth it? No. Oh dear. Can I run out citizenship even though I don't have citizenship? I don't know if they'd let you in if you didn't have citizenship. So I'm gonna say probably not. But I could be wrong because I've never tried. Alright, let's do this again. Yee! My dudes, I have so much skill! Twice! Gev, welcome on in! Gev, you just watched me thread a beading needle with silky satin gloves on. And I've done it twice now, and also that time it was so quick. Oh my god, that was like as long as it normally takes me. That ended up being important to be careful on. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like I will get over to America. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. Yeah! We like to party. 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 The Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, an interstate free disco. The wheels as feel are turning, lights are burning. So if you like the party, come on and move your body. Thank you for the party. Yeah, do that again. Honestly, I feel so proud. I feel so accomplished. I renounced my Australian citizenship. The government will grab me. Well, you might. I don't think you're allowed to renounce your citizenship if you only have one. I think that's just dodging taxes, Jason. I don't think that's allowed. I think it only works if you have multiple citizenships, you know? Otherwise, that's just a crime, actually. Oh, dear. Although I appreciate the effort. Oh, I didn't even sew through myself that time. Oh, there's like a little... Okay. It's just getting stuck on like a little bobble of glue, I think, on my gloves. These are not high quality gloves. Oh dear. The government won't know they got it. I think they will know, Jason. I think they'll know. There we go. We'll go from the other side and we'll meet it in the middle. But first, I guess if I can drink. It's only by someone who, under national laws, does not enjoy citizenship. The legal bond between... Oh, wait, is it allowed then, Gev? Can you just become citizenless? Why are you wearing gloves? For the illusion. Because then my hands look like the slime girl as well, right? For the illusion of VTubering. Because my VTuber, I've kind of cut her off at the arms, but like, she has these blue arms, right? And now I have these blue arms. So it looks like when I'm sewing that my hands are the VTuber's hands. It's very silly and very vain, but I enjoy it. It's like a little vanity thing where it's like, I just want my hands to look like the VTuber's hands. Although I will say it definitely adds like an extra difficulty level when it comes to sewing. But hey, these aren't that difficult anyway, so that's all good. And I'm getting used to it, and also, to be fair, it's kind of cold at the moment, so they are keeping my hands nice and toasty warm. Normally at the end of stream, my hands are kind of cold. I don't think that's going to be the case today. There we go. Oh, I did want to mention this. Sorry, this is like gonna affect basically no one in chat, but I saw that this had happened yesterday because I was looking. So basically, I was just looking for fan art from the Owl House because I find it very inspiring when I'm doing my designing to also look at what other artists have done in regards to just the Owl House in general, and that's where the next costume we're making on stream is going to be from, right? So I was doing like a little bit of research, and I was going through Twitter and just going through like our house like tags and stuff like that. Heads up to people that don't want spoilers for the next episode that's meant to air on the 21st. Someone's posted the whole episode on Twitter. I saw it and like basically immediately was like, no, I want to watch it properly when it airs. I want to see it like in this, 360p tiny window. But someone's leaked the entire episode, so yeah, careful. If you're going through our house Twitter, there are leaks on there. Unfortunately, I don't know how they managed to do that. I saw a lot of people in the comments that were very upset about it. Like, why have you done this? It comes out in like a week. We could survive a week. Oh dear. I guess unless you want to watch the whole episode in 360p, it's on there, but I don't recommend it. Oh, I'm so excited for that new episode though. I don't want to spoil what's happened in the series so far, but it's definitely like hyping up. There's a lot of good stuff happening, and the last episode did a lot of hype. Why have you done this? Why did you watch? I didn't watch it. Well, I didn't mean to. I watched like the opening by accident. Oh, because you don't know. I thought it was maybe like a fan edit or something. It wasn't a fan edit. It's the next episode. I realized like in the first 10 seconds when I was like, wait a minute. First of all, this looks like the Owl House, and second of all, this is footage I have not yet seen. Yeah. I am looking forward to it though. Ah, dear. CJ, welcome on in. Is 360p going for a PS? But yeah, a 360p. You're right, you got it. Welcome on in, CJ. I hope you're doing well, and Happy New Year. Oh no, sorry, like the royal we. Got you. My bad. Oh dear. Yeah, people are like, why are you posting these spoilers? What are you doing? It's like, I would just avoid it if I were you. Stay away from it. I'm so excited though. It's gonna come out in like a week. I get to see what happens, and I'm very excited. I love that show. I really wish it got its proper third season, but like, I still really like it. I still think it's like a really, really good show, and yeah. Very fun to watch. I've really been enjoying it. I have zero type of voice, but I just don't get it. Oh, where can you watch The Owl House? It's on Disney. On Disney, and they have the first 2 seasons, and then they'll have the first like special, because the third season, rather than getting a proper third season, is just 3 specials. It's so good. It's so good. It got cancelled though because it had, because specifically it had a gay relationship in it as like part of the main cast, even though it's literally just them looking at each other and blushing and holding hands. It's like, it's nothing. It's so subtle. In like a good way, but like it's and then also I think because one of the main cast in the second season is I believe they're non-binary. Yeah. And it got them cancelled. How dare you have a non-binary person in your hecking kids show. Terrible. Oh my god. I have zero trouble avoiding words, just don't get it. Yeah, good on you. Good on you. It works for you. Hell yeah. Oh, they're holding hands. I know. They were like, wait, they hold hands and they blush? Ban! This is the thing, it's like, I always feel like I have to clarify, because I'm like, people be like, yeah, like, smooching on a kid's show is a bit weird, stuff like that. It's like, they held hands and they blushed. They held hands and they blushed. I will say though, after they got cancelled, they did up the gay, because why the hell not? And it's glorious. You can tell when they got cancelled, because they went from like holding hands and blushing to like, well, let's give them rainbows. Let's give them rainbow outfits. Let's make them look like they're going to a pride parade. Hell yeah. You know what? I respect it. If you're gonna get cancelled for something as silly as like 2 women holding hands, then yeah, you might as well do that. Kit, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Yay up in the gay. Hell yeah. And I thought Disney was being more inclusive. This is exactly why I refuse to play Disney Starlight Valley. A lot of people were like, you're gonna really like Disney Starlight Valley because you like Stardew Valley and all that. And I was like, yeah, I probably would. Except that as Disney released Starlight Valley, they cancelled the Owl House for being too gay. Like, literally at the same time, basically. Like, it was happening at the same time. And I was like, I can't sit here and watch a show being cancelled because they can't air it in Saudi Arabia or something. And a couple of other countries. Because it has two women holding hands. And then also support them by streaming their games. You know? Like, after the Owl House is finished, we'll probably cancel our Disney subscription as well, just for the meantime. Because I want to believe that Disney could do better than this, but, like, right now, it's like, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Oh, dear. Report for tuss! I know we heckin' hand-holding in this Christian stream. Terrible. But it was really cute. Oh dear. How are you sewing in gloves? Oh, well, I'm practicing at the moment, but honestly, it's not been too bad. I've also threaded a beading needle kit twice in these gloves. Twice. I'm so proud. It's like the biggest achievement of this year. I love the Owl House too. The next costume we're doing is from the Owl House. Because I really wanted to support it with the stuff that I do. And so I was like, well, if I can support the Owl House by making a costume from the Owl House, I will hecking do that. So I'm doing the Collector, but I think the Collector is first introduced in around the 1600s. So I'm going to be doing 1600s the Collector. So basically, I can show you the thing. It's going to look a bit weird because it's made for like face. So you're not, yeah. This is kind of the outfit I'm going to be doing. So we're going more Jester-esque. The hat is like a moon, but you can't really see it from that angle. And then we're taking, of course, the colors from the character into consideration. So we're going a bit more Venetian, but very much 1600s in the techniques that I'm going to be using. Yeah, because I really wanted to support the Owl House because it felt like it was a bit unfair what happened to it. It's too good for Disney. It is too good for Disney. The reason I don't like Disney anymore, I can only watch stuff as a pirate. I know that they've released the specials on YouTube, like just anyway, but I don't know if they've released the rest of it on YouTube. It might just be the specials, and you really do need the rest of it before the specials. Hooty hoot! I can't do that. Family friendly! Oh dear. I know, right? I'm so proud of myself. I had no idea I could do this with a needle, but hey, listen. The things I can do with a needle. Speaking of costumes, is there like a thing you get that help to make masks? Like I mean, you can get foam heads. Foam heads that are just like standard generic heads. There are tutorials for how to make like your own head as well, but you normally need a friend for that just because you're wrapping your head in like plaster and you don't want to accidentally cut off your nose or anything. So you have options. I would say have a little look on YouTube and you'll find like making your own head mold. Otherwise you can just buy generic like male and female head molds. Ah dear. Wow, yeah! 100% too unfair. The wife was saying that it's a new series coming to Disney with a gay BIPOC man character apparently. Really? Thing is, I really hope that that's the case. But then also, seeing what happened to the Owl House, I'm like... It's like I've seen this happen before, where it's going to come on Disney, they're going to realize they can't cut out the scenes for other countries, and then they're going to cancel it, right? Like, because, like, I want it to work, and I want it to be good, but, like, just seeing, like, this happen before, I'm like, I don't want to see another show get cancelled for the same reason. I don't think it's fair. Yeah. Foam easy flow is true. I am partial to breathing. Foam is fine, actually. Like, foam heads are pretty good. I have a couple of foam heads. And they're normally pretty cheap. The issue with them is they're very much mannequin generic, which means they're a little bit smaller than the average face. So you kind of have to, like, get ready for that. You can buy slightly more expensive artistic heads that are normally, like, clay or something as well. Again, they'll be generic, but they'll do the job for the most part. So we F those intolerant countries. Well, this is the thing is like, so from Disney's perspective, they want to be able to air it all over the world, right? But like, I feel like, I was talking about this on stream yesterday, but like, there are going to be gay people in those countries too. Like, imagine the good that Disney could do by just showing that there are inclusive places for those people that are trans or gay or any part of the LGBT, right? By having that representation in a kids show, like, they could do so much good by actually airing that in those countries. Because, yeah, like, the people are still going to know that it's illegal where they are, and they're still going to have to be really, really careful. But there's like a small sliver of acceptance getting through to them. And I feel like they could have done a really good thing by just, you know, you can have Disney, but you'll have all the same shows as everyone else. You know, barter like that, rather than being like, okay, yeah, well, no, we'll air it in your place and we'll cut out every single thing that could potentially be LGBTQA. You know, I just felt like they could have done a really good thing, and they chose not to, and I think that says a lot, personally. When I'm like, literally, keeping those scenes in would be less work and effort for you, and it might make someone feel a little bit more seen in those countries where it is very dangerous for them to just be alive. I don't know. That's my hot takes for the day. Oh dear. Disney banned a show for being too gay, but then put 10,000 into a new Doctor Who series, which aired on Disney, and the last time Russell T Davies did it, it was gloriously gay. But this is the thing, is like, it's okay to be camp, but you can't be holding hands and kissing another man, you know? Like, it's only if it's explicitly stated that they're gay, but I also stand by, it's not representation unless they explicitly state that they are gay or LGBT. Because remember when Encanto came out? Right? And everyone was talking about, what's the sister's name? The sister who didn't want to date that one guy, right? I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. It's the sister that didn't want to date that one guy and felt like she had to. Everyone was like, oh, she's lesbian. Like, Disney didn't say it, but she's lesbian. It's like, don't give Disney credit. They're cancelling another show for having someone in it who's lesbian. Like, if you identify with that character, that's fine. You're welcome to identify with that character and their story and stuff like that. In fact, that's good. But they're not gay. Not gay until Disney says they're gay. Well, I'm not giving them that benefit of the doubt, I'm afraid. Like, when they are cancelling shows for having explicitly gay characters, and when I say explicitly gay, I mean they are holding hands with another woman dating. Like, not full-on gay sex scenes, just like, you know, they are clearly in a relationship with that person. They support each other emotionally. They ask each other out on dates, stuff like that. Simple stuff, you know? Unless they are explicit about it, I don't give them credit. Isabel, wasn't it? Or Isabella. Yeah. People were saying that she was a lesbian icon. And it's like, you're giving a credit to a country that is actively giving credit to a company that is actively cancelling shows for having gay characters. Like, let's not. Like, if you identify with that character, that's fine. But pretending because you identify with them that they are also gay is giving credit to a company that doesn't actually deserve it, in my opinion. It's my opinion. Also, when is Tristan like, I don't know. What word is gay? Disney would ban so much because I kiss my wife on stream. Yeah, that you can't do that. Shows of affection between the same gender? Absolutely not. It's going to go anyway, no matter if they cancel it or not. Yeah, exactly. There's no such thing as quantum gay. You're either clearly identified or not. Yeah. And like, this isn't to like attack people who are necessarily in the closet. That's not the case. Like, if you need to stay in the closet to stay safe and all that kind of stuff, you're fine. Like, this isn't to attack people. This is to attack companies. This is to attack companies that benefit from doing the bare minimum and then at the same time actually cancel shows for being gay. Like, for having a character that doesn't want to date a man and then pretending that that's gay representation and then cancelling another show which has actual representation in it. This is to attack companies like that because it sends a message, and I am definitely not the only person who's picked up on this with Disney. Like, I think a lot of people have. Yeah. How do you get that from the lack of desire to date one specific person? And this is the thing, there is nothing wrong with relating to that. Maybe you've been in a similar situation where you felt like you had to date someone because that's what society thought was right, and you didn't want to, and it felt very stifling, and like you were suffocated all the time because this is not something you wanted to do. Like there's nothing wrong with identifying with that. But let's not give them credit where they don't deserve it. Like, you identify with that character, that's great. Heck, and you do you. But don't say that Disney is pro-LGBT when they cancel shows for having LGBT characters in it. Yeah. I missed something, I'm sorry. Oh dear, get him. My wife is big on picking up anti-LGBT and anti-BIPOC. You should hear her, she has all the facts. Hell yeah! I love a good fact, lady. Hey, yeah, we need some more facts. More heckin' facts. Less heckin' fiction, unless it's our house. Oh dear. Yeah. I don't know, I don't talk about LGBT stuff too often because it is not like really... First of all, I don't like talking about relationships in general. It's not a big part of my stuff. But like, as a little British bisexual lady, I felt seen by the Owl House. It was nice. It was sweet, and it felt very natural. I don't want to spoil too much, but someone is very, very much bisexual in there. And like, you don't really get a lot of bi representation. And I was like, this sweet dumpling? I could identify with this bean? Okay, I'm happy with that. That's sweet. And then yeah, it got cancelled because of that sweet bean. No! Oh dear, so I married her, hell yeah. We love a bi person, yeah, it was really nice. And then they got rid of the show because, yeah. It's sad, and again, it sends a message. It shows that I am not accepted by Disney, and that, you know, I think as well it was to do partially with the non-binary person in there as well, because especially in the second season they have a fairly large role. Those are the two times. There are technically, you can see other relationships, but then it's difficult to tell all the time because like there's a lot of non-human people in the Owl House. So there's like those kind of background characters where they might be gay, but I don't know. I don't know who's human and not human, and what gender those people or things would identify as. I don't know. But yeah, there was one very explicitly non-binary and one very explicitly bisexual person in Owl House. As pretty big characters, one of them as a main character, who was dating another main character, and yeah, it makes it seem like if someone like me, I'm not accepted by Disney, like, you know, because of people like me, Disney cancelled the show, and it's sad. It's really sad. I don't like to see that. Yeah, there's not very many humans in Owl House. Owl House is not very human heavy, and I like that. Bi stuff is weird. While sometimes like, oh, you're not actually dating someone homogeneously, you're just straight. Yeah, bi stuff is a whole can of worms that I'm not even gonna pretend to open right now. But like, that's why it was nice. That's why it was so nice. And then they did that. But once again, bi erasure at work. Yeah, it's like full on erasure. We erase everything. You don't exist anymore, actually. No, not your sexuality, just you. You don't exist. Yeah, humans are not a big thing in the Owl House. A lot more non-human. And yeah, just... I'm dizzy, so I'm gonna go gay! This is the thing, and that's exactly why I was like... I had a lot of people coming into my chat and being like, are you gonna play Disney Starlight Valley? And I was like... I've just watched the show get cancelled because one of the main characters is bisexual, and as a bisexual myself, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to support that. Can't lie. That makes me feel incredibly sad. I did just click that sport fellow. A fellow Jello! Welcome on in! I hope you're doing well. We're being gay right now. You're welcome on in. You don't have to be gay. You can be whatever you like. But that's what I'm doing. I'm also threading beading needles with gloves on. Oh dear. I prefer Disney cancelling for my chaotic nature. But well, that's the thing. They basically cancelled. They said no for something that we literally cannot help. And it's like, okay. It got personal very quickly. Listen, Disney, it's getting personal here. What's wrong with me, huh? Am I not good enough for Disney? Good egg, hell yeah! Thank you for the eggplant. Ah dear. But yeah, next cosplay is from the Owl House. I'm going to be cosplaying the Collector. I have a history of doing jesterish, clownish costumes, so we're going to be really leaning into that and doing 1600s Venetian jester with lots of heckin' hand stitching and old techniques. In fact, the whole costume will be hand stitched head to toe. and it's gonna be really, really cool. And we're gonna go around supporting the heckin' Owl House. What a compliment, not be good enough to Disney, but I loved Disney. I did. I really loved Disney. Yeah, I loved it. I'm sad. It made me sad. Disney's not good enough for you. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? Okay, there you go. Disney's not good enough for me, except for the Owl House. I stand by that one. I'm a bisexual polyamorous woman dating a man who is currently in a monogamous relationship, and I am very aware of erasure. You're dating a man? Oh yeah, that's sorry, my dude. You can't be bi and date a man if you're a woman, and you can't be bi and date a woman if you're a man. That's just not how it works. You have to date the person of your own sex until you get called a lesbian. No. And we'll say this is all sarcasm. Please do not take anything I am saying seriously here. But a bisexual dating the opposite gender? It's almost like that's half of the sexuality. Not me dating a woman like I'm going, she's gay now. It's changed. Whoa. It's evolving. Oh dear. Love it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Out by character. Be gone! Get out! None of that here. Oh dear. Gotta love. It's so weird the way that acceptance has gone. It's like cool. If you date the same gender, you're gay. You date the opposite, you're straight, and there's nothing else. And it's like, oh, okay, well, oh dear. Whew. Sorry, there's a string on the chat. I had to get rid of that. Get rid of that string. It's come so far, but there's a way to go. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the like, Shifty. I'm assuming good luck with work. I hope that it goes well. I'll just be here killing the heckin' sewing with gloves on, honestly. Absolutely rocking this. It's going pretty heckin' good, can't lie. Rose the main character is openly bi. Oh, really? I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of television. I'm gonna get outed for like, hi, hello, my name is Jelly and I watch like one television show a year. On stage fellow Jello, thank you so much for the follow. Very heckin' kind of you. Welcome on in. We're actually, so for the most part here, we're actually cosplayers. I make costumes. Oh yeah, do you want me to introduce myself? Hi, my name is Jelly. I make costumes. Normally I do costumes like, big costumes, honestly. Where is my big costume thing? There it is. This is me. This is what I do. That's also me in the costume. We make really big costumes. So they take like a lot of hours. I think I did 500 hours of streaming, but this costume was about 2,000 hours of work. But we go through all of the processes on stream, like almost like a crafting coffee morning where I kind of also teach people the stuff that I'm doing. And I'm very much a seamstress. I stay in my seamstressing lane where I do embroidery and sequining and sparkles and all of that kind of stuff, and I make those into costumes. The next costume that we're going to be making is the Collector from Owl House, except we're going to be doing I keep saying 1960s, it's 1600s style, so it'll be completely hand-stitched top to bottom, using lots and lots of traditional techniques like smocking, embroidery, all of that kind of jazz, and yeah, that's what we do here, this kind of stuff. Let me go back to, yeah. We're VTuber right now though. Get your narrow view, but I decline to be constrained by it. Hell yeah! On animation and LGBT rep in Arcane, there's a lot of non-hetero relationships, but you'll notice that you don't have names for it in that world because it's so normal here that there's no specific terms for it. Hell yeah. I did notice, at first I was very up and down about it because, again, it kind of felt like, how to put it, because it was never specifically said that they were just trying to, like, play both sides so that they could get aired in all the countries but also have gay representation, which I don't personally agree with. But yeah, after having looked a little bit into it, it's actually, yeah, just that it's the same kind of world as Owl House, right? There's so much not human and like interspecies and everything like that stuff that it's like being gay is nothing. That's nothing. That's just normal. It's whatever. Like, and it's the same in Owl House. It predominantly takes part in another world, and in that other world, there's so many non-human entities that that being gay is nothing. You know? Oh, sorry, would you mind keeping the chat to English? I apologize. I will have to delete just because we can't moderate in any language other than English right now. I'm sorry. I'll write it in chat though. English, please. I'll put a heart because I don't mean anything bad by it. Ah, dear. How heavy was the costume? Very. Very, very, very heavy. Incredibly so. My girlfriend wanted to mention the Buzz Lightyear movie. I haven't seen the Buzz Lightyear movie. I haven't actually heard much about it either. I don't know. What happens in the Buzz Lightyear movie? Without spoiling the whole story, I suppose, because there might be people here that want to watch it. Ah, dear. Oh, good evening, Jelly. Ah, damn it. So this is why we keep everything in English, because, yeah, I have to assume that it could be negative. We did at one point, which was very funny, have a lot of like, it was just like a period of time on the channel where we had lots of people coming in and speaking Spanish and like saying like nasty words in Spanish, but ha, psych, I actually speak some Spanish. I definitely speak enough Spanish to know when you're calling me a bitch. It's like the only language where I'm like, I'm not really speaking confident, but I'm very reading confident. I can read Spanish pretty damn good. I did do it for like, not only did I do it for like 5 years, I also, I was best mates with someone who was, their whole family only spoke Spanish. So like I had to speak Spanish constantly at that house. So yeah, I read a lot of Spanish. Some people are coming in and being like, she has moderation only in English, let me say some nasty Spanish words to her. And I'm like, I literally, you think they weren't the first words I ever learned? Come on now. Oh dear, it was a cute message. It was a cute message. Hell yeah. Could it be heavier, or would that be approaching the GVW? It could have been heavier, but no, it was hard. The wings, without the wings, it's not too bad. But it is a very hefty costume. It has 160,000 beads on it. Like, that's pretty heavy. There was a lesbian couple then. Nice. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's what that is. Very cool. I love different languages hearing and seeing, but what if they said something awful? Jelly learns all the swear words. I do, yeah. I only know swear words. No, we keep it in English for moderation purposes. It's nothing like, listen, you come from where you are and you're all good, but like, we have to keep it in English just so that, oh, there we go, thank you! Is that Kaneko? Kaneko, welcome on in. Hello. I'm sorry that I had to delete your message before, but welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Are all Jelly's migraine sufferers? I have terrible migraine today. Wait, how did you know that I suffer with migraines? How did you know? Huh? Who have you been speaking to? Who told you that? Where did you get this secret knowledge from? It's in your butt. Oh, is it? Wait a second. What's my bio? Oh yeah, I got invisible disability there. Oh, I thought my bio was memes, dreams, and sewing machines. Well, then I had the migraine trust right there. Ah, my bad. Okay, yeah, you're right. Excuse me. Fight you for no reason. Oh dear. Hello. Ah dear. Hello. Taz, thank you. I self-snitched, I did. Welcome on in. Yeah, I got my heckin' arms today. We're having an arm day. I have threaded this needle twice. It's a beading needle as well, with silky gloves on. Yeah, I have chronic migraines. I have migraines nearly every single day. That's why I'm not currently in work. The thing is, I can do things. I'm like, I am relatively competent like half the day. Like, I'm pretty good. It's just, because I don't know when I'm gonna have migraines, and I do tend to have about 5 to 6 bad migraines a week. They only last like 8 hours, but like, I do have like a lot of bad migraines every week. I can't pass probation for a job, so I'm just constantly unemployed or unfit for work, and it's like, because like it's not constant. Like I do have symptoms most of the time, but most of the time I can handle them. Like, they're manageable symptoms, right? I could deal with it. But because I just don't know when it's gonna happen, and unfortunately my migraines are triggered by exhaustion, so like I tend to get them near the end of the day. It can affect my work quite a lot. So here we are, unemployed again. But it means I have lots of time to stream, so that's nice. Oh dear. Imagine if you got migraines 10, that would be like, honestly, kind of a superpower. but also kind of a pain because I need assistance when I have migraines. If I'm invisible, I can't receive assistance. Excuse me. Lucky to have work that lets me be home and very flexible. Yeah, I've lost 4 jobs now. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into it too much. Yeah. I try though, I really do try. Even flexible work, which delves into the thing about modern society. And also like flexible working is normally only offered to people that have worked at a company for a certain amount of time. And yeah, so like newbies don't get that benefit, which is a shame. Only lasts 8 hours. It's relatively short for a chronic migraine sufferer. A lot of people have really bad migraines for more than 24 hours. You get 15 plus migraines a month. You too? Oh, welcome to the heckin' pain boat. Oh no. Yeah, that's the thing. It's such a pain in the ass. Oh, bless you. I hope you manage to find something that works for you ASAP. Yes. In the meantime, though, you're always welcome here. If you need someone to listen to while you're dying, here we are. We do that dying radio. Oh dear. I went to the doctor with blocked up ears. The doctor asked me to describe the symptoms. I told them, well, there's hope. God, that was huge. For fuck's sake. You got me so far into that. God damn it. I get 3 migraines, but trip times I've chopped them down. They make, yeah, I'm the same. So like the reason I do a lot of hand stitching. I do hand stitching and we do like lots of traditional work, honestly. And that's worked really well for me because my migraines, one of the main symptoms I get is I have like a 24/7 aura. So my vision is really, really bad. I struggle to read. I struggle to see properly. I have to blow things up. Like chat for me is huge so that I can read it. But that's also why I have to scroll back through chat so often because it's so big. So like when people chat, I'm like, oh, they've gone. There, bye-bye. But I have I struggle with seeing. So I can't see very well. So I have to do stuff with that. And then because of that, using a sewing machine a lot of the time is quite dangerous. Using anything sharp or hot is quite dangerous because I can't see and it's not something that glasses can help with. So yeah, I have to be a little bit careful because I want to show good practice and making sure that people are sewing safely, and then I have to set that by example. So like that's why Mateus is like 95% hand stitched. The next costume is going to be like 100% hand stitched, so that we're doing safe practices while streaming. I want to be a good example, not a bad example. Oh dear. As long as my game was roughly 70 days, besides say 69 for fun, hell yeah. But then do people believe you or think you're memeing? I'll stitch your hand unless you're a medical professional. Exactly. Only medical professionals do stitches in people's. You never get an aura. Oh! But then 30% of people with migraines never get an aura. I'm here with stats. I've been to a lot of migraine meets. Like, I get statistics. Yeah, 30% of people never get a migraine. So never get a migraine, never get an aura. Ah, dear. Oh, Kaneko. Bless you. Thank you so much. It's very heckin' kind of you. Robot sewing is needed. Robot sewing is needed sometimes, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at doing it by hand. I keep it on constant dark mode save and my computer screen. Hand stitching is more chill. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Is like you gotta just work through it slowly and surely, and that works really well with streaming because whatever work you do on streaming is like so much slower than your regular work because you're multitasking, right? So chill hand stitching, I feel like goes hand in hand with stream work because it's just slow work when you're working slowly. Oh dear. What's the mushroom for? So I'm actually going to be opening a shop later in the year and we're going to be selling little like baubles and trinkets that are sparkly. So this little bead will be for sale, but not for like a probably good 6 months. I need some time to set up stock. Yeah. I done stitches on a real person. Oh my god. How did it feel? I've sewn through my skin by accident a lot of times, but I've never done it on purpose. Can you sew anything by hand if I try hard enough? Exactly. You can. I don't know if I've ever had a migraine. So migraines affect everyone a little bit differently. There are common symptoms like nausea and head pain, auras, but like I said, not everyone gets them, and everyone has a different level, a different symptoms, and it's all a bit different for everyone. My general advice, if you're having consistent head pain or consistent nausea or consistent blindness, go to a doctor. The reason is that it could be that it's something more dangerous than migraines. But then if it is migraines, there is always something you can do about it, or hopefully it's like you can do about it. But yeah, don't self-diagnose chronic migraine. Like if you're having one every now and again, it's a little different. But if you're having them consistently, get a diagnosis just to make sure that you don't have a brain tumor, or you're not about to have a stroke, or you don't have secret diabetes, anything like that. There's so many things that it can be that are actually very dangerous and need like immediate help, that it's worth going to get a doctor. Yeah. And also, just if you're having to be in pain that often anyway, there are things that doctors can do, like different treatments. It sucks, and you have to go through a lot of treatments often before you find one that works for you. But like, there are things you could do. And even if you have only migraines every now and again, I still recommend speaking to a doctor, because there are things that can be prescribed to you that mean that you don't ever have to have a migraine, especially if you have them only every now and again. If you're someone that has migraines like 3 or 4 times a year, you don't have to have 3 or 4 migraines a year. There are things that they can do to help you so that you have 0. So yeah, it's always worth going to a doctor, but it's specifically really worth it if you're having it consistently, because it is just worth making sure that you don't have something more dangerous going on. Yes. You can get custom migraines. Yeah, they're all custom. All migraines are custom. Everyone is different. I found it strong to pull the stitch against and a little to put the needle through, but part of it was me worrying about causing pain, even though, yeah, I think that would be the bit that would really get me, is like, I really hope that I'm not making this person feel worse. But like you said, I bet they didn't. I bet they were just grateful that you were helping them. I had to learn how to do sutures and stitching on birds when I became a falconer, because there's so few veterinarians. Oh, have you ever had to do it, or have you just practiced? I'm just curious. If you like, no judgment either way. I'm just wondering. Also, if you get any migraine, don't just suffer and go and buy a triptan. I would recommend, if you're suffering, to go to a doctor as well. At least in the UK. Here's the thing. I don't have to pay for my triptans. I get them whenever I want, for free. Obviously, this is different in different parts of the world. In America, it's probably different. But in the UK, you get that shit for free. Literally, go to a doctor, tell them you have migraines, they'll give you a triptan, and then you could just have it on your repeat forever. I mean, it's free. You don't have to pay for it, even. Whoa. Although I don't know if it's the same in England, is the only thing, because I've only had it in Wales. But in Wales, I've never paid for it. Wait to try the injections. It's getting... Yeah, I know. It's finally come across. They really didn't want it here because they're expensive for the NHS. But it's like, it's finally there. So I'm currently waiting for Botox right now. For me, we think that that's probably going to be the one that I might need. Because I have a lot of issues with my neck, which is likely the reason that I have so many migraines. So numbing my neck will hopefully fix it. And I'm going to be starting after April this year, and I'm so excited. I'm not excited for the needles, but I am excited to hopefully get better, because I've had chronic migraines for 7 years nearly. It's been a 7-year process of trying to get help. And it's really time. I've had to do it maybe twice. It's very delicate. Oh, I imagine it is. Needles are nothing to jelly belly notice. Well, apparently though, it used to be like, I was quite worried because the needles I used to use were quite big, whereas now they have really, really, really thin needles. So apparently you actually do barely notice it. It's the healing that's kind of like a bit of a pain, because you're like, obviously you have multiple injection sites and they create like little lumps, and then those little lumps have to like heal, and it, you know, that's the bit that, yeah. You don't get it for free in England? Oh, but it works out cheap. Okay, I'm glad it at the very least works out cheap. Listen, Wales, come to Wales. Jelly, come to Wales. The NHS is not that much slower, and we get free prescriptions in Wales. Although I guess if you're not having to pay that much anyway, maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, over here all prescriptions are free. Pretty good. Pretty good. I am English, but I came across to Wales when I was 18. So I've been here like my whole adult life. And yeah, the benefits with the health stuff here is pretty good. Like if I over there to be free anyway. Yeah. Good. It's Scotland as well, thank you, Kit. Hell yeah. Leave England. Embrace other bits of the UK. Since you were 2? Oh, bless you. That's very unlucky to get them that young. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. Embrace Scotland and Wales. I don't know about Northern Ireland. But hey, free. I guess, but if you're going to get them free anyway, maybe it doesn't really affect you. But to anyone else here, free. Freedom. Free prescriptions. Available now in Wales and Scotland. Better bits. Don't make up to me. I was like, attention seeking. Oh, God. That's bad. I've said this many times. I was really, really lucky. I will say I have some symptoms with my migraines that are quite concerning. But I won't go into too many of them. I recommend if you have migraines to go and just tell them what your symptoms are and get a diagnosis like that, rather than going in and saying you think you have migraines because you might be surprised. But yeah, go in and say your symptoms. I went in and I said my symptoms and they looked at me like I'd gone mental because I had been living with these symptoms for like maybe nearly a year before I went to the doctors. Like, I really, really desperately did not want to go to the doctors with these symptoms because I didn't think that they were migraines. I thought I was dying, and I was like, I don't want them to either not believe me or just tell me that I'm dying. So I didn't go, which is really, really bad, and I really don't recommend it because if it had been something more dangerous than migraines, I could have, like, very easily done really bad damage to myself. But yeah, I went in, I said my symptoms, and they were like, well, it kind of sounds like migraines. However, there's a couple symptoms in there that I am a little worried about. So I had a head scan in 2 days, and within 2 weeks, I'd seen a neurologist for a formal diagnosis. Like, it was so quick. Like, there was no waiting. There was like, you have these symptoms? Okay. Head scan within 2 days. I think it was potentially even like, it was like the day after I'd been to the doctor, basically. So I went straight in for a head scan. And then after 2 weeks when the neurologist had seen it, I saw the neurologist and they gave me my full diagnosis. Yeah, super quick. And they do take it seriously. Depending on the symptoms you have, you'll be taken very, very seriously. Because some symptoms that can come along with migraines, they just cross over way too much with other things. Yeah. They probably said to think, oh yeah, of course, that's how it goes. I really want to live by the Welsh coast. I probably wouldn't recommend living too close to the Welsh coast because it's expensive and also flooding. But there's lots of really nice areas in Wales to live for sure. Don't want to jinx it, but I've had to use Trap over by. Oh, you've not? Hell yeah, Dakoba. Good to hear it. Sound like a drug peddler. Drugs. There's free drugs here. No, I'm only for prescription and for people that need it. Yes. A few steps to go through living between two different countries to live in Wales. Live in Wales! It's great. Come here. It's great. Also, all symptoms. Yeah, all of them. Every single symptom. There's an issue. I've been diagnosed for so long, and they won't scour me because I'm clearly not dead yet. Really? Over here, it's like... obviously, this is the thing. I think a lot of people really do group Wales, England, Scotland together a lot. When actually the systems in place are quite different. For migraines, you have to fail an extra drug than we do. I think maybe that's changed, but it used to be that you had to fail 5 drugs in England and only 3 in Wales. So it was a bit quicker. I ended up having to fail 4 because I was allergic to one of them, so it didn't count. Yeah, I only had to fail 3 before I was referred to a neurologist. Well, I was referred back to a neurologist because I'd actually already seen a neurologist. I'd seen 2 before I even started trialing any medication. Yeah, you've done 7. This is what I mean. And that, like, they zoom you through it here comparatively to England. I can't speak for Scotland because I've never lived there. But, like, here, you only have to fail 3. And then, yeah. But again, I had to do 4 because I was allergic to the first one, so they didn't count it. It still takes 6 years, but, like, you know, it could have been worse. It probably would have taken more than 10 if I'd had to fail 5. So, yeah. There's a lot of little benefits. A lot of little teeny tiny benefits. Also, do you guys want a toadstool? Look at this. Look at how sparkly they are. They're so sparkly. Whoa. And they got sequins on the stalk. So that's really, really sparkly. And then they got like a little bit of definition around there. So you can kind of see the split. Oh my god. So sparkly. He's a little weighty as well. He's a little weighty bean. He's got some heft to him because of all the beads. I will be going around it in the sequins now. Let me just move these out of the way since I'm not using those ones. I'll be wanting the sequins next. It will actually be black thread. There we go. Sorry, that's going to look really weird because I need to lift up to the edit. There you go. I forgot that I'd need black thread. Cute, thank you, dog. It's so sparkly, right? A little Halloween mushroom. A little spooky Halloween mushroom. And then the day of French vlogs, I'm still waiting. Oh, bless you. So much waiting. Oh, dear. How are they for throwing at folks? I think they'd actually be pretty good as far as a weapon goes. Like, I don't know if you could hear it. It's pretty hefty. Not as hefty as the dragon, but still pretty hefty. You want to? Hey! Hell yeah! If I was to become a neurologist, yeah, honestly, you could train to be a neurologist at the time. And it takes you to go see one. They do say mushrooms are very meaty. I've got a few mushrooms actually. This is not my first mushroom. Not my first mushroom rodeo. I've got a lot of tentacles right now. Jesus Christ. I need to chill out on the tentacles a bit. But I have the winter version. Is a winter mushroom. I got the Pikachu mushroom. And then I got version 2 of the winter mushroom, which is like the one which goes down. So they come as like a little twofer. A little twofer. Oh dear, absolutely not. More tentacles. I've got so many tentacles. I've got like a whole wad of tentacles here. And a pumpkin. Tentacles and a pumpkin. Oh dear, I love it. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much, George. I appreciate it. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, I love these. They ended up really cute, honestly. There's a few things I've been changing as I go, but like every mushroom I make, I think gets a little bit better. And I like this one. This one's very cute. And it's purple. Love a good purple mushroom. Right, put all of those away. And then we need a standard needle. So for the sequins, is this one. This should technically be easier to thread than the sharp, but we'll see. We'll see. I had very good luck, I think, with the sharps. Oh, not the sharps, the beading needles. This is a sharp. I'm using a sharp now. Before I was using a beading needle. I think I had very good luck. Oh, no, it turns out I'm just insanely skilled. Jesus Christ. God. I do not give myself enough credit. There you go. Another needle threaded with literal... Like, these are, like, slippery, silky gloves. I will put some little grips in the end of the thumb. Because, yeah, and the first finger, because otherwise they are a bit of a pain to use. But, damn, that's another needle threaded. Hoping to get a mushroom ornament when you open the shop, so Tentacle Boy won't be alone. Do you think I'll make green? I will. I actually have, wait, 2 seconds. Let me tie this off. I actually have green ones and orange ones ready to make for the first batch. Because the first batch is going to be like a Halloweeny themed one. Where are they? They're not made yet, but they're stuck together ready to be made. Yeah. We'll just be doing them a little later. Hell yeah, she's a witch! Get the fire wet! No! Don't burn me! Also, Go, I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. I hope things are going well for you so far in the new year. There we go. Snip that. And then get this attached. I'll probably start at the top. I normally start at the top with the sequining. This one will also be a lot harder to put through the gloves by accident. Not that I've really stitched myself so far, but like, you know, it's nice to keep it safe. Oh, no, things are great. Heck yeah, thank you. This is my jelly lady. She's made of jelly. She's a gelatinous creature. She's also semi-see-through, but not, you can't really tell. Like, can you see chat behind my hair? She's kind of see-through, but it's not super obvious. Oh dear, there we go. She also gets grumpy really easily. I still need to fix that, but I don't know when I'm doing that. Like, so much grump. Grr. Yeah, as long as I'm smiling, normally she's fine. It's just if I have like a concentrating face, the rigging software's like, oh, not the rigging software, the capture software's like, you're concentrating? You must be really grumpy then. Only grumpy people concentrate. Oh dear. What? Here, I think. Yeah. Alright. This is going to be really, really hard. I'm ready for it, but it's going to be hard. Normally I pick the sequins up with my fingers and add them one by one. But this time, I'll be picking them up with a needle. I can do it. It's just a little bit more difficult. So I hold my little pot. And then one. And the first stitch, we actually need 2 sequins. There we go. Commitment to the blue sleeves. And then just use my scissors and try to break the sequins apart. There you go. Good stuff. Georgia. Georgia. And then we'll just go around the whole thing. It'll just be one sequin at a time, going around the whole edge. I'm a little worried about this bit, but I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. I should remember to cut slightly bigger borders. I always cut the size that I think I need, but I should actually cut like a little bit of extra and then trim it down afterwards, really. Just to make sure I don't get too small. I heard my name twice. But no trouble. I was just copying Grand Goat. Don't worry. I was just copying Goat. You are in no trouble. Not a suspicious user right now. I need to turn that alert off because we do have all the sound alerts back, or at least they should be back. On Nightbot, and then where is it? It's a timer. There you go. Disable that timer. We don't need that right now. There we go. That's better. All right. Around the edge we go. Ah, this is gonna be really hard actually. Oh. I get to peel every sequin with these on. Oh god. Jaws, not sus at all. Not sus at all. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. No, Jaws isn't in trouble. They're not sus. They're a good bean. There we go. What? Okay, you know what? I love arms, however. Until I have little grippy patches. This bit's just too difficult. I can do the beading. I can do the needle threading. But flipping the sequins over requires, like, the finger. Arm reveal. Arm reveal. I do have arms. I feel a bit bad because I have, like, a really big burn on my wrist right now. I apologize if you have to look at it. I'm sorry. I can't put a plaster on it because it needs some air right now, but yeah, I'm sorry, it's kind of grim. But it's not bleeding, Twitch, or anything like that, so please don't ban me for having burned myself this week. Oh, it looks like it is an oops, I touched the top of the oven burn. Oh my god, how did you know? That's exactly what it is. I get there's a lot. Me too. I think it's the worst, no worries. Yeah, Twitch has some like funny rules about what would you call it? What you can show on stream, and one of them, like gore and stuff, you're not meant to show on stream, but I wouldn't consider it gore. It's just like a bit of a burn. Potty room spaghetti. Where is Vile? We need that potty room and spaghetti. No, I think Vile is probably looking after the new dogs. Vile has adopted, not adopted, fostering a couple of dogs right now, and they are so cute. They are so hecking cute. They are such cute beans and they deserve all the hecking love. But obviously they're settling at the moment, so they get up in the middle of the night and stuff like that. And yes, I think they're a bit tired at the moment. No, my skin is constantly coming off. Yeah, it's really frustrating for things like that Twitch, yeah. No bodily fluids, absolutely not. I have to get bigger oven mitts because my wrists were exposed. Yeah, the oven mitts should actually be covering my wrists. I really don't know how this happens, but it keeps happening. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been banned from the oven for a while though. No crying. Oh yeah, no crying. Absolutely not. Excuse me, showing emotion on stream? Gross. Don't do that. Ew. No crying. There we go. Ah, dear. Just don't close up if it's bleeding, cover it. Yeah, the bleeding one we're pretty good at. Like, I'd rather not cover it if I didn't have to because, you know, it's healing at the moment. But yeah, bleeding we always cover. Like, because sometimes we catch ourselves with a needle, and I'd say most of the time when you catch yourself with a needle, it won't bleed, but like every now and again, you catch it in that special way, and it causes you to get like a little paper cut bleed, you know? And then we always cover it up for a few minutes until it stops. They're like really subtle, teeny tiny cuts most of the time, but like, just to be safe on Twitch. Also, SJS, welcome on in and Happy New Year! My worst fear was when I decided to check if there's why would you do that? No! Even I'm like, why? And I'm a silly. Oh dear. I hope you were okay. Oh, I guess you're technically alive now, so I guess you haven't died. You're right, Dakoba. Hell, I am a body made of fluid. How did that happen? Oh dear. There you go. Get that the right way around. And yeah. I'll try and keep the gloves on for a while, but I think this is just maybe for sequencing now. Or I just need thinner, smaller gloves. Oh dear, thanks, Happy New Year! Heckin' Happy New Year! Go, Jelly. Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. Well, that's what's happening to me right now. I'm just growing another arm to replace this arm with, so that when when this arm is healed, I can just replace it with my new arm. Yeah. I'm just growing an extra one, you know? It's out the back, so you can't see it, but like, my replacement arm is currently growing in. Oh dear. Oh, honestly, I love making these little toadstools. They're so much fun. I love the tentacles too. I don't know which one I prefer, because I really do love the aesthetics of both tentacles and mushrooms. Or toadstools, I should say, because they do have the little spots on the top. Ah, dear, we cyberpunk now. We're playing exactly. My limb gets damaged. I just replaced the limb. Most bodies are made of. That's a very good point. Fair point, well made. Oh dear, most bodies are in fact made of fluid. Go. Wow. And keep going through around here. Honestly, I find sequencing to be so relaxing. I think tomorrow we'll go back to streaming with face. I've been using the VTuber for the last few streams just because we have basically been making the VTuber on stream, and I want that. But I do want to do a few more face streams, at least while my hair is fresh. Maybe once my hair, like my roots start growing out again, we'll go back to the VTuber. But yeah, I'm gonna do like a, what would you call it? A little bit of face here and there. We'll be swapping between. Honestly, having a VTuber model is so nice because it means on the days where you're not feeling quite so well, you can just swap out and you still have a face that's talking to people and like a face that people can talk back to, but like you don't have to worry that you look sick or that maybe you haven't slept very well or stuff like that. Like, I would not consider myself a VTuber generally. Like, I know that I look like one right now, but like generally I use my face. So, but it's just a really handy streaming tool to have. I know there are some people that are very against using VTubers like that, and they're like, you should commit to it, and you should be a VTuber 100% of the time. But like, I think there's like a lot of benefit to just having a model in general, so that if you are feeling a bit tired but you still want to stream, you don't have to worry about all of the comments where it's like, you look tired. Like, yeah, you're right, I am. Or you look sick. That's the other one. You look tired or you look sick. A few things occasionally. Allegedly. I'm good at not making the toadstool look too phallic. Thank you! I could do a special line of phallic toadstools if I wanted to, but these ones are sweet beans for everyone. I always look sick. That's my secret. That's why I'm a VTuber. I always, oh god. Oh no, that's not what I meant to insinuate. I just meant like it's a really good tool if you don't want to show your face for a day or two. I didn't mean that all VTubers look sick and tired. Oh dear. I think my face is just good for mental health. I like PNG but yeah, it's just fun. Like, yeah, it's just fun. Like, look at me. I'm so bouncy. I'm so bouncy. I mean, it's true. I mean, I don't think you look too tired. I mean, I haven't seen you for a while, though, I guess. Maybe you've changed. You've changed. In these months that I have not seen you, you've become a different person. Yeah, whenever I saw you, you looked pretty sprightly. Oh, dear. How long did it take? So it took 2 days ago. On Monday, we drew all the layers. We did all of that good stuff. We did all the Photoshop kind of work of getting everything there. And then on what's it called? On Tuesday, we rigged the whole thing. So I only rigged the eyes and the mouth on stream because those are the most time-consuming parts, especially for a VTuber like this. You just replicate the same stuff that you do on the eyes on the rest of the body as well, and all that kind of stuff. If you can rig the eyes and the mouth, you can do the rest of it. And so I did the eyes and the mouth on stream, and I did the rest of it off stream, and then we debuted on Wednesday. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh wait, yeah, TwitchCon. Yeah, no, I did see you at TwitchCon. That was so much fun. Dear. I want to make a super basic one. Yeah, making a super basic one will probably only take you a couple days. Do you already have a drawing software, Grango? Like something that you can draw layers in? I use Photoshop, which tends to be what's recommended because you will, or anything as long as you can save it as a Photoshop file. Like you can use Clip Studio as long as you can save as Photoshop. It's just you really want to save it as a Photoshop file because then it remains in the same layers and everything. Otherwise everything moves when you export it. Ah dear. Ah dear, but even though I want to be a digital jellyfish girl with wires instead of the jiggly bits. Ah! I'm an animated animator, so if I jam, nice. Yeah, see, I am not. I'm not an artist, like traditional artist by trade. I am very much a cosplayer. Sewing and crafts and all that kind of stuff. But Twitch really forces you to like get outside of your bubble a little bit, like when it comes to making your own emotes and doing your own arts and stuff like that. So I think from having streamed for a couple years, like it made me feel a little bit more confident to try drawing something a little bit more complicated. And yeah, it's been really, really good. Oh dear. I've made a few jellyfish girls. Do you want to see my jellyfish girls, Jelly? Wait, I have made some jellyfish women. Wait, I think I've only got one on here loaded in though. 2 seconds. Let me see. I'll just invisible myself. I might only have one loaded in would be the only thing. Is this one. She's big, this one though. And the mouth is not as good as my current mouth because I rigged it in a different way. She's very large. Oh dear. But yeah. She's like a tentacle lady. And then instead of rigging the breathing to regular breathing, I have the breathing rigged to like the tentacles moving around. Yeah. Kaiju J. Yeah. Oh dear. Do you use a base? I draw everything from scratch. So every single VTube model, I've drawn everything. I have drawn my own bases over time so that I can refer to my own artwork, but I've never referred to another person's. It's been completely me, top to bottom. Yeah, most of these are like half-baked models, unfortunately. Oh wait, no, behind that. Nobody saw that. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. It's because you're right next to Slime Jelly. You didn't see anything. None of you saw anything. Oh, was I waiting to surprise Shifty? Yeah, hello, it's me, Shifty. Surprise, it was me. It's because Shifty is right next to Slime. Yeah, psych, this is actually a Shifty stream. Oh my god. Oopsie doopsie. This is a problem when you're a mama to a lot of streamers. Oh dear. Jellyfish, but make it Vogue. Hell yeah. Shifty with such dainty hands, right? Yeah, this is what Shifty's hands look like. Shifty's also burnt themselves on their wrist. Oh dear. Oh, ink! Yeah, ink! I heckin' love a good ink of Violet stream. Ink's the one that got me interested in Persona. This was a while ago now. When they were playing Persona, I was like, well, actually, this looks like kind of a fun game. I haven't played it yet, but it definitely put it on my list. It is true. It is true. Yes. Shifty is burned them. Sorry, I know I'm talking about myself in the third person because I am actually Shifty. Yeah, I don't keep my own models logged in if I am not going to be using them again. But I do keep everyone else's just in case they need any like new parts or alterations and stuff like that. So I do have like, I probably still have George's model. I think I still have Shifties and Dem. Do I still have Dems? I might still have Dems, I'm not sure. And I have a few other people's as well that haven't debuted that you shouldn't see. Oh dear, Ink's irrelevant animated husband is my idol, hell yeah! Ink does some really cool stuff. The stuff with the cards on Ink stream is so cool. So heckin' cool. Oh dear. There you go. I tried to juggle hot coal and burnt my. That's what it was. Yeah, that's how I burnt my wrist. Thank you, me, for writing that in my chat. Yes, it is so cool. It's so cool. Oh dear. Yeah, no, I make all of my own models and bases. So I personally, unless someone's like, yeah, you know, like you said, selling models, I don't think it's okay to trace over someone's VTuber model unless they're selling the model so that you specifically do that. I do see that as, well, it's tracing at the end of the day. So it's a bit meh, I think, in the eyes of many artists. But if people are selling bases so that you don't have to draw a base from scratch, it's very fair. Ah, dear. Like, I wouldn't want someone to trace over my design. I'd feel, yeah, 100% no tracing. There's nothing wrong with downloading and seeing how other people build well. Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely. Like, it's building up layers is like one of those things. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it as well that I don't know if you're in the Discord, Jelly. We have a Discord for VTuber rigging stuff, where there's loads and loads of really good like tutorials. Not my tutorials. I think one of mine's on there, but like mainly it's other people's tutorials on like how to build layers up for like eyes and mouth and stuff like that. I actually need to add a new one because I followed a tutorial recently that was really, really good for mouth rigging and made it really, really easy. And yeah. But we have a whole Discord channel for it if you are looking for tutorials. But if not, don't worry about it. Oh dear. Or buying a template. Yeah. I think obviously if you're buying the template, that's fine. I just have to be careful because, you know, there might be people in chat who are like, oh, okay, so I could just trace Jelly's models? I'd rather you didn't. I'd very much rather you did not. Oh dear. This is in your Discord. I haven't got the tutorial that I use for the mouth, but I got loads of other tutorials that I use for like blinking and stuff like that. They are in the Discord in the... Oh, I've been pinged. What have I been pinged for? Oh, thanks, Shifty. Yeah, I didn't even see the message. Oh, God. It's the embassies. The embassies. Yeah, we have a rigging and VTubers arts and craft where people will show their own rigs. If you scroll up, there's like hand tracking stuff. I've got some videos of ones that I've made. We got lots of tutorials of ones other made. Hand rigging's a big one at the moment because it's a bit newer. And then, yeah, if you scroll all the way up, there's like tutorials of bounce physics, jiggle physics, skinning, mouth templates, as well as just like general. There's like, I've shared some people who do a lot of tutorials rather than just sharing like one of them. Like Dream Trove does a hell of a lot of tutorials. Oh dear. No worries. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I only just saw that, but I appreciate it. Yes. Oh dear. Also, if anyone's interested, you can buy lots of cool Twitch overlays and animations on Etsy. Oh, okay. You can, yeah. I made everything. But then it makes sense for me because I am an artist, and even though I'm not a traditional artist, making everything yourself it's like a good practice for the other arts that I do. So I just made everything. I'll be honest, I really wasn't very put together when I started streaming either, like nearly 3 years ago. I was like, listen, I have a starting student screen. That's it. Obviously, I was not affiliate or anything, so I didn't have any emotes or anything. I was like, I have very little. But over time, they've evolved, and I'm really pleased with where they're at right now. It's become a lot more streamlined, and I think it looks pretty cute. And it fits the wobbly aesthetic. It'd be fun to try it out. Yeah, it is really fun. I think Dream Trove is a really good, again, if you scroll all the way up, they're one of the YouTubers that I've recommended a couple times. They do a lot of tutorials, but they do a lot of really simplified tutorials. So like they show you how to make a blob. And like, I think that's a really, really good starter because then you get used to like doing like simple movements rather than like having to work on a whole body. And then I need to share... I'll find them in my history after stream and I'll share them as well. But there's another streamer that I've been... well, they do stream, but the YouTube tutorials is what I've been following, who does really, really good for like bouncy irises, and like they do the mouth that I've been using. So yeah, I need to share them as well. Look, I'm debating making a VTuber tin of beans. Nice. Also, good Amazonia, good morning. I hope you're feeling a bit better. Just about. Also, I got ads because it's resubbed. Ugh. Things I curse to never get. Wait, I didn't even see it in my alert activity. The heck? Wait, Arizona, if you refresh the page, it might come up that you can share your sub anniversary. Maybe. Ah, dear, back from start of my shift at 12. Oh, bless you. Good luck with the shift start. I hope it goes well. A blob, that's essentially... Well, my first ever one was a blob too. And you know what? It really helped teach me the basics so that I felt more confident moving on to a whole one. Gillian is good for learning simple PNG tubers. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, a lot of people use a PNG tuber before... Hey, there we go! We're good! Thank you so much for 10 months, Amazonia. I really appreciate it. Hell yeah. Oh, dear. Twitch is twitchy. Yeah, a lot of people use PNG tubers before they use like a VTuber because they're cheaper to commission. It kind of, if you're making them yourself, they are a lot simpler because you don't need nearly as many layers to do it. And again, it gets you to learn the basics. So a lot of people do that first. And honestly, I've seen some really cute PNG tubers. Very, very cute. Be a blob and then slowly evolve. That's kind of how I feel. I'm awake! I'm awake! You're not feeling better, sadly? Oh god, I'm sorry to hear that. You've still got like over a week, right, though, before you need to be better. So hopefully you recover quickly. If it's bad today, hopefully it's better tomorrow. Oh dear. The horn do be waking everyone up at the speed of light. Oh dear. I love watching VTuber stuff, honestly. I am very much not a VTuber most of the time, but I do really enjoy, I enjoy the whole thing around VTubers, about like being able to make your own design and then like look however you like and have like little characters and stuff like that. I really like it. It's just really, really nice. It's a lovely option. Obviously, it's not going to be right for everyone. A lot of people will really, really, really not want to be a VTuber, and like that's fine. But it's a very useful tool to have. Especially if you stream a lot. Maybe if you stream, this won't be as poignant. Like if you're only someone who does a stream every now and again. But if you stream a lot, you have days where you feel like you look like absolute hot garbage. And like, I think that's just a normal human thing. Is sometimes you wake up and you're like, yeah, I didn't sleep. And yeah, you can tell. And it's nice to have an option that I could stream with a face still without having to worry that people are going to keep coming in and saying how sick I look. Yes, days, totally not decades. Oh dear. And nothing wrong with that, Dakoba. Plus, you mod a very busy Twitch channel. Listen, you're busy beans. You're a busy bean. You got lots going on. Oh dear. There we go, let's cut that thread and do a bit new. I'm on 10? Dakoba! Wait, that's very, very busy. Wait, are they all speedrunners? Because if so, like, are they all Final Fantasy speedrunners? Because if so, like, surely that's like commitment and a half. Like, because those are long streams. Half of them, that's still a lot. You mod for 5 speedrunners. Bless you. You're a heckin' hardworking mod, that's for sure. Jesus Christ. For those who aren't aware, Dakoba, I know they mod for at least one Final Fantasy IX speedrunner. Final Fantasy IX speedruns are like 8 hours if you're getting a good time. They're like 8 hours for a good time. So if like things don't go wrong, right, or they have to restart, those could very easily be 10-hour streams. The person I'm talking about, Pete Swanson, I believe, I might be saying it, I'm sorry. the person I'm thinking of, they did like a 20-hour stream when they were like rooting out, doing all cards and stuff. It is Pete Swanson, okay. I always get worried that I'm gonna say it wrong. Maybe it was like Gooseson. What if it wasn't a swan? What if it was a goose? It's Pete Duxon. I could probably do names, honestly. Look for Final Fantasy. Yeah. Honestly, actually, could you drop the names just so that I'm sure that I am following them all? Because I love watching Final Fantasy speedruns. When I'm like crafting on long periods of time, I'll often go and look to see if anyone's running 9. Ham Fruitcake, I would assume maybe. If I had to guess another one that you might be modding, are you modding Ham? You mod for Ham? Yeah! And wait, I don't know if she had wait, they have a sister? And that also runs? Wait, I didn't know that. That's new information to me. Oh dear. She does 10 and also 9. Okay, 2 seconds. I don't think I follow that person. Kega? Copy. Copy. Excuse me while I just update my list of Final Fantasy IX speedrunners live on Twitch. Sorry, I really, really enjoy Final Fantasy IX speedrunners. I like 10 as well, to be fair. 10's also a really long run, though. Follow. Turn it on. No, there we go. Now I'll know when. Oh, no, wait, I turned it off. Turn it back on again. I thought I was turning it on. Ah, dear. We all share the same emote artist. Oh, do you? Oh, hell yeah. Modding different titles can be tricky. Also, thank you for the surprise Shifty cameo. God damn it. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, Ham is in British time zone. Pete? Does Pete also stream in British time zone? Can't remember. I cannot remember where people sound like they're from. And so I have no idea. I know Ham's British. I'm assuming the sister is also. Oh dear, those are commitments. He streams whenever he's awake. Oh, but he's in Texas. Why is he always streaming in my time zone? Is Pete okay? I can watch a lot of Pete streams, which is not normal for like the other side of the world. Are they alright? What's happened? Especially with there being such long streams. Honestly, I really enjoyed the I think 50. Yeah, that's true actually. I was like, I really enjoy the really, really long streams. Like I often have them on the back burner, so like I can't watch the whole stream because of like it going past midnight. So I just save it there and then I'll watch the VOD because I think it's because I love the game so much. He's gonna stream in everyone's time zones. That's true, yeah. You stream for that long and you kind of hit a lot of people. There we go. What? What? We're getting around this mushroom. I'm gonna have to trim off some of the sides because I've got a little bit big on certain bits, but honestly, I've got it pretty good. I did a couple of Final Fantasy IX speedruns now, but I need to de-rust again. Yeah, I think I would need to de-rust as well. Also, I've been eyeing up another speedrun, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. Which is because the thing is, I'd have to replay the game so that I could unlock Madness mode. But I have been really enjoying watching Resident Evil 7 Madness speedruns. And I'm like, I really enjoyed the Resident Evil 7 game as well. So it's a game that I already like, and I'm really enjoying watching how the speedruns go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm up and down on it. European and UK streamers are difficult for you to catch for your streams in the morning, so you can come by. Ah, thank you, George. Heck. And they're like 10 hours long. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, they're very long. Also, Techno, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. How are we today? I'm alright. I did have my arms on earlier, but I've taken them off because the sequin. Some of the sequins with the arms on, it's hard. Ah, dear. You found a tiny skip? Oh, wait, what is it? I actually didn't know that you'd found a skip. What's this teeny tiny skip? Oh, no, yeah, that could be hard. Yeah, I was doing pretty good until I wasn't. Also, where did that sequin... Oh, it's over there. It's like, where did that sequin go? All the way over there. In front of Conde Petty, you can fall... Where you fell through the school... Fall. You can go to the Black Mage Village. You can actually ride Chocobo up the cliff, and it drops you down to the... Wait, really? Oh, so you don't have to go through the mountain pass? Huh. Wait, that feels like quite a big skip. Am I misunderstanding? When I got to Petty, where you fell from the floor. Yeah. When you enter that maze forest, you can actually ride Choco up against the cliff and it drops you down to the forest. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I got confused. Yeah. Okay, so it means you don't have to go the whole way around on the Chocobo then. That's pretty good. I hope, but well, oh, bless you. I hope the weather cools off a little bit then. It says like 10 or 12 seconds, but it's not bad. Oh dear. Did you know that if you open the door, go get on the floor, and then everyone does the dinosaur? I didn't know that. Jesus. When did they discover that one? Also, I love that you're describing, like, in front of Condon Petty, you know, when you fell through the floor. I swear to God. Ah! My legacy. I am the slowest speedrunner in my category, and I fell through the floor. God damn it. I've been into a couple of Twitch streams now, and I you know, I've just been like, hi, gonna be lurking, love Final Fantasy. And they're like, are you the person who fell through the floor? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I am. Oh dear. I want to actually do a good run so that I'm no longer known as the woman who fell through the floor. It's not a bad thing. I don't know. I want to be known as a good speedrunner, not as the woman who falls through the floor. Oh dear. Scotty 33. Oh, and I've had chicken for lunch. You do need some iced tea. Jesus Christ, that is hot. Oh dear. Oh Hecty, welcome on in. Thank you for the horn. We have horns back now. We are back with the horns. It's a unique thing to happen in a run. It doesn't happen to anyone else. I guess that's true. And I happen to be streaming it, which is lucky. But I don't know. I go into stream, they're like, oh, it's the floor woman. It's like, oh, it is me, the floor woman. Oh dear. No, I would like to rerun the game. I should have some more time this year. I just don't have the space set up for my PS4 right now. But when I can get that set up again, yeah, I can start practicing. What is that? Oh, do you mean to hydrate? It's a cup of tea. It's just a standard cup of tea. English breakfast. Although it's got weird milk in it. I don't know about this milk. It's the ultra pasteurized one. We're getting through it and it's kind of gross. It doesn't taste too bad in coffee, but you can really taste it in tea. I don't know. I'm fighting the good fight and we're getting through it. It's not my favorite though. The tea itself is fine. It's just the milk. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I think it's meant to be like, if you don't drink milk very often, ultra pasteurized is really good because it keeps for like 6 months, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're in that boat. Also, Mikey, oh, okay. Scott, thank you for the party. Good. Oh god, it is the afternoon. Wait, it gives me time to shout. We like to party. 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 Oh, you don't make a bus is coming and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, an interstate free disco. The wheels are still are turning and traffic lights are burning. So if you like the party, come on and move your body. Thank you so much for the party. Can you draw me like in life like a pizza roll? I'll give you 2 V-Bucks. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I have the skill. Yeah, I have hands as well. I've taken them off for the sequining because it's a little difficult to pick up the sequins if you've got gloves on your hands. But I do have the whole getup. I did it with the beading. Oh dear. Oh. No, we're Slime Girl now. Not permanently. Just here and there. Sometimes. Sometimes I shall be slime. Just putting my arms back on. Ah, dear. There we go. Sequence a boring game? You're wrong. So there's... Well, maybe sequence the game is. Be the girl you seek. I mean, isn't that what VTubing is? You're like, I want Slime Girl, and so I will become Slime Girl. Ah, dear. Oh dear. Wait, I remember you talking about recording a new song. Yeah. So unfortunately this year I had COVID and then I had bronchitis. So I'm still recovering from bronchitis right now. I'm gonna take these off again because I'm paying for the sequence. But yeah, I couldn't record over Christmas because yeah, my lungs were like absolutely none of that, not doing it, not today. So we've had to reschedule. So when my lungs are a little bit clearer and I'm feeling like a little bit less breathless, we'll just record it then. We'll still be doing it. It's not like we're gonna not do it this year. I just have to wait a little bit. Oh dear. Also, Mikey, I drew her using your tutorials. All of my VTubers are done with like your curvy girl tutorials. including the boys, because it's like the only way that I know how to draw a human figure. So all the boys and all the girls start off incredibly curvy, and then we have to like shave them down a bit. This is just cursed VTuber lore. Oh dear. Jelly couldn't record over Christmas because Jelly is read-only. Yeah. Record read-only. Yeah, so like when we came back to streaming, when people redeemed party, I still sang along, and everyone was like, ah, because it was like, the finger bus is coming and everybody's jumping. It was really very, very cursed, but we're nearly back to normal, thankfully. Oh, no, because I did live drawing for like 2 years, and I did it like 10 years ago, and I've completely forgotten most of what I've learned, so now I just watch your curvy girl tutorials and I'm like, hell yeah. Here we go. Shifty, I know you wanted that big butt. Well, listen, we could do that. I just need to start off with the curvy girl body, and then we make it from there. Oh dear. Well, although I do think that's why all of my VTubers have such big hips. I'm gonna blame Mikey for that. I appreciate it. It's all good. We did shave you down a little bit. God, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. How goes your speedy cosplaying? Get a big ghoul from the fall. Yeah, it was very much Fallout Ghoul voice, and it was a little cursed. I also couldn't go high pitched. Like my normal voice, like it oscillates a lot. It goes up and down a lot. Like that's how my voice goes. It's very up and down. Like it's deeper and then it's higher and then it's deeper depending on how excited I am normally. But what was happening was, because that's what I normally do with my voice, I couldn't hit any of the higher bits. So I'd be like, oh my god, and then today and then I found out that I could. It was very, very cursed. I couldn't get excited about anything because you just wouldn't hear me. It was great. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend. Also, I should be shouting out Hut as well. Hut is making a costume for TwitchCon 2023, which is, by the way, only in a couple of months. Hut, did you know that submissions are probably going to open in like a month? But no, they're making a fantastic costume from, I believe it's the new Hades 2 trailer. And it is a very, very sexy lady. Can I say that? It's a very, very sexy lady. And she's got like, I will say her waist is kind of ridiculous. Like when you were talking about doing the waist armor, I was like, I imagine that's gonna look really good, but her waist is like, when you see people who have like corseted for like, I don't know, several years, and like they've got that like really small waist, and like when you don't look, it's like you're not like specifically looking at it, it like looks very normal, but then the more you look at it, the more you're like, damn. Don't, wait a second, that's a very small waist. Like there's no way I could do that waist. Like I am a relatively slim lady, and like that is a waist. You're gonna need such strong boning to pull that in, like Jesus. And I was wondering how you were gonna do it, and then Hut was talking about it, and I was like, ah yes, sensible, this makes sense. I would have panicked. Old school Barbie, yeah, old school Barbie waist. Like she's very buff, like she's a very strong looking lady. Very, very strong. But like her waist, so she's like buff with a small waist. Honestly, she's very pretty. She's very, very pretty. Also, we finished the mushroom. I don't know, I've only been going for a couple of hours. I feel like I could start another mushroom. I will have to glue it and leave it to dry for a second, but it means we can just have a chat. 2 seconds. Yeah. I'm sitting like a gremlin. There we go. And we'll have to change our beads around a bit. Dear. Waist not want not. Yeah, definitely not want with that waist. But it is, to be fair, very, very pretty armor. Very, very pretty armor. Alright, let's reevaluate what we've got here. So I think the only thing that I actually need to change out is this pot of beads with my green pot of beads. So let's... There you go. Change our bead mix. orange one, but I want the green one. There we go. So now we have green beads. Easy as that. I can change around my threads. So instead of the purple, I have green. Put the purple over there. I'll still need the rest of that because it's still another toadstool. I'll pop this one up there for now since it's done. And we can start with this one. Where's my glue? There it is. Oh dear. I would do what I did last time, end the night. Yeah, listen, that's the only way of doing it. Entering the day before submission, that's just how you do it. So I always stick these down with fabric glue first. The fabric glue is definitely not permanent and it ends up being stuck in place really with the stitches. But it just means that while I'm still sewing it and it's still working on it, that it's not moving around too much. And it doesn't take very long to dry. So that's good. And then we'll just flip it over. There you go. And we'll leave that there for just a second. Let that dry a little bit. Ah, dear. What's the orb of shaping you have there? It's one of the small ones. It's a fence post topper. It's a big one. It's a shot put welded to a stick. I have to steal some shot put then. Maybe that's what you need. Ah, you know what? I'm gonna have a biscuit and some tea. Listen, I'm waiting for this to dry. I've got nothing else I can do. Biscuit time. I've actually got Lotus biscuits right now. Or Lotus Biscoff. Hell yeah. I got the good stuff today. Ah dear. Not to do it. Oh no, you're fine. I like talking about cosplay. Oh dear. Yours, yeah, snack time. Second snack time. You only had it for the first time a couple weeks ago? Did you like it? Alright, I'm gonna do a thicker border this time. It won't need to be this thick, and I will have to trim it down later. However, it just means even if I stitch it, it won't shrink too much. There you go. Jelly's a proper forest goblin, hell yeah. I eat the mushrooms, the Lotus Biscoff. all that foresty stuff, you know? The stuff you find in the forest you can forage. I love foraging my Lotus Biscoff. It was a crepe souffle and it was really nice. Hell yeah, I'm glad. I love these biscuits. Surviving off mushrooms and adventurous biscuits. I mean, today I am. Dear. So can you give us the best cosplay advice? Or to anyone in chat? In regards to which part of cosplay? I don't know. It depends. What do you want to know? I guess... have a repair kit handy. That's a good one. Always have a repair kit. You pick. Like you said you'd like to talk about it. I'd say don't be pressured into doing any other cosplay than the one that you want to do. 2 seconds. I need to blow my nose again. It's the eating. I swear. Sorry about that. Nose blow done. Cosplay what you want and don't care too much. Cosplay how you want. If you don't want to make a costume, don't feel like you have to, and vice versa. If you feel like you have to pump out costumes really quickly but you want to make them, like, don't worry about it. Do it. It's a hobby. You do it for fun, unless you're trying to make it your job, in which case ignore my advice. Yeah, just have fun with it. Do what you enjoy. If you want to jump in the deep end, you jump in the deep end. If you want to start with something simpler, you start with something simpler. Yeah, just do what you think you'll enjoy. There's not really a wrong way of cosplaying, to be honest. As long as you're not putting down other cosplayers or having a bad time, you're probably doing it right. Yeah. Sounds like she's going for a trip. Oi, oi. Don't make super heavy costume you expect to want to wear. Yeah, comfort is important. I will say that's something that tends to come with time. I think a lot of the time you, myself included, I prioritize aesthetics over like wearability, but make sure that you can at the very least go to the toilet in your costume, or that you have a way to get to the bathroom, whether it be that it's easy to put your costume on and off, or that there are like holes or like pockets or whatever. Just make sure that you can pee, or that you have a way of going to the toilet, because yeah, otherwise you're going to be in for a rough ride and it's probably not going to be very fun. Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, honestly, if you're going to TwitchCon, I would advise avoiding a corset, except I'm also making a corset and I wore a corset last time as well, because they feed you. At TwitchCon, they feed you for the entire day, and if you're wearing a corset, it's really hard to eat your fill, and it's like, it's free food, and it goes to waste, and that's one thing that I regret from TwitchCon this year. Because of the costume I wore, I couldn't eat very much food in a row, because like I had I had two corsets on over the top of each other, basically, and there was all this like breakfast food, and like they had like bacon and sausages, and they had like croissants and chocolate stuff, and I was like, I want to eat all of this, and I can't because I got all my corsets on. So like, that's a silly advice really, but like if you're going to TwitchCon, there's food there, make sure you can eat it. Ah, dear, cosplay diapers. Yeah. But you listen, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. Consider weight and temperature. You don't want to wear, yeah, I would say consider weight and temperature, but I also never consider weight and temperature. But it's a good idea. Yeah, good advice. You wouldn't want to wear a cold one in winter. Yeah. Oh, I guess actually legit advice. Read the rules of wherever you're going to cosplay. If you're going to a convention, read the cosplay rules. Read the rules. If you're doing heavy blood and guts and gore, you normally are not allowed to wear them until you get to the cosplay convention, and then you sign in and let them know. The reason is, if you look like you're dying in the streets, someone will call an ambulance. If you do realistic guts and gore, wait till you're at the convention center to do it. Same with weapons. If you're bringing a weapon, it doesn't matter how fake it looks. Keep it covered until you get to the convention center, so that you don't get arrested. Because you hear so many stories every year of cosplayers getting arrested because they have like a realistic looking bow, or like they have like a really silly like laser blaster, but someone reported a gun on the tubes, and it's like, keep it covered. Keep it in a bag, keep it wrapped up in bin bags if you have to, until you get to the convention, and then take it out. Because all it takes is one person to report you, and you'll be arrested. It's not worth it. However fake you think your weapon looks, wrap it up. Oh dear. And yeah, never have a prop gun without an orange cap. They actually won't let you in the convention center most of the time if you have one that doesn't have a cap. Also, never bring a prop gun that can actively fire projectiles. I would recommend. A lot of conventions these days are actually banning Nerf guns, unless you can prove that they can't fire. So again, just read the rules of the convention before you go so that you don't end up being turned away. Have a loose costume or a doggy bag to steal. Oh yeah, keep snacks. Pockets are good. Snack pockets. How often have the rules sort of ruined the cosplay vision you had? For me, never. But like, I take precautions. I wrap up weapons on the way to the conventions and stuff like that. It's not a con rule, it's just a good idea. But like, most of them are pretty easy to avoid. Like, don't bring wooden or metal weapons is not difficult. People still do it, but it's not difficult. The amount of people after the Suicide Squad movie came out that were dressed as Harley Quinn and bought real baseball bats. And it's like, you can't walk into a convention with a real baseball bat. That's a weapon. And they'd get turned away because they bought real baseball bats with them. Like, you can't have that. So yeah, most of the time I've been fine. A lot of it is just common sense. Like, yeah. Thanks to Cobra, I try. People have been arrested or shot for taking, this is the thing. And not just for guns. Over in America, some cosplayers have been killed for having cosplay swords in public. They're the same thing, they've been shot. This, like, we're joking around and having a fun time. If you have a weapon and you're taking it with it to TwitchCon, it does not matter how fake it looks. Some police will shoot first and ask questions later, and cosplayers have been killed. And it's not just for guns. It's not just for guns. Like, they had like a demon slayer sword or something and they were killed. Yeah, and that's like in the last couple years. So, yeah. Wrap up your weapons. If you're taking them to a convention and you're traveling, don't just have them out. And I will say, in the cases where cosplayers have been hurt, I don't blame the cosplayers. I think that the shoot first, ask question mentality is a lot. But like, I think there are like some things you can do to protect yourself, and that's what you should be doing. I don't want it to sound like I'm blaming the people who died. Ah, dear. Hidden pocket phone. MCM does allow light wooden weapons. My Aries sword would. I would say, if you're giving advice, to err on the side of caution, because if you get an attendant who doesn't care, they will still turn you away. Light wood, like plywood, is normally fine. Baseball bats are not. You cannot bring a baseball bat in. I think these days they specifically have the no baseball bats. Mel's story of last year, she couldn't bring a 3D printed axe through customs because it looked too real, it's illegal. Yeah. Like, weapons are a real big thing. Please, 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 please read the rules of the convention you're going. And it doesn't matter if you've been to other conventions. You go to a new convention, read the rules. Basic rule for melee weapons is that it breaks if you hit someone. Yeah, that is exactly right. If you hit someone, your weapon has to break. It's understandable, but it is a bit much. It is to protect people. You have to bear in mind, especially, like, I'll talk about MCM London, because it's the biggest convention in the UK, for like Comic-Con style stuff, right? You have like over 100,000 people going through those doors at the weekend, over the long weekend, for 3 days. And you do every single time. It only takes one bad actor, one bad person, one person who comes in wanting to hurt people, and tens of thousands of people will be injured. Like, these rules are in for a place. It's because it takes one person to kill thousands. And it's like, it is, without trying to get too dramatic, it is a hell of a target for terrorism, a hell of a target for bad people, a hell of a target for an attack. And so they're very, very careful. And I can't speak for conventions outside of the UK, really, because I predominantly go to them in the UK, but a lot of them have very similar rules for that, reason. Is you're a target when you have that many people together dressed up with masks on. You can't identify them. And yeah, you have to be really, really, really careful when it comes to the weapons. It's why MCM often has airport security gates to walk through and ones to see how much metal you have on you. Like, it is high security. But it's not difficult. Like, I'm not gonna be here like, oh, and it ruined my experience, the fact that I had to go through security to get in and that they had to check my weapons. Like, no, it doesn't. Like, you queue at the same time as everyone else. In fact, if you're queuing with a cosplay, normally you're actually queuing a little less. Because you have to get checked at a different place. So I got through before Shiny last time. It's not a detriment to your experience, and it helps everybody's safety. Yes. Yeah. But that is specifically my take on UK ones. I don't know what they're like abroad, and I don't want to make too many statements when I don't know. Yeah. You get people complain about it, but like, yeah, it's not really worth complaining about when it keeps everyone safe. You've been to one con abroad, true, but then Hut will actually back me up on this. Me and Hut probably went through like 10 times the security of anybody else entering, right, Hut? Remember when they went through your suitcase, Hut? You remember that, Hut? So we had to come in through the back entrance for TwitchCon because we were speakers, which meant we went through a lot more security than anybody else entering. Weirdly, even though we had like all the stuff ahead of time, we probably went through like 10 times the amount of security as everyone else. They had to check every single bit of our outfits. They checked everything. They were looking for pockets. They were looking for hidden items. They went through Hut's whole suitcase, I think. Like, Hut had metal armor. Oh, bless you. They were a very good sport about it. Hut was a very good sport about it. But like, they did that with everyone, and then also they checked our assistants as well, but the cosplayers were checked very, very thoroughly. Every single item. It took like 20 minutes to get into the goddamn building and just sit down, because we were all just waiting outside queuing to like go through the most intense security I've ever been through. It's more intense than airport security. Like, It was so intense. They went through every item in every backpack in every suitcase, and we were like, these cosplayers are not small. Like they are quite large, and they went through everything for everyone. And they were not, how to put it, they weren't rude, but they were not nice either. Like they were like, it was like they suspected you that you were sneaking something into the building, and you were kind of treated like a suspect. Yeah, so you were like heavily patted down. They checked you through everything. They very, very matter of fact, but like they would like push you on and like be like, yeah, you go over there. Right, you over there. You over here. I want to see this. Can you check this, this, and this? All right, move over there. Get out of the way. You over there. It was like that for everyone. Very, very matter of fact. They weren't rude, but they were like, they treated you like you were suspicious. It is the most intense security that I've ever been through. And yeah, so everyone else just walked into TwitchCon. Like, Shifty just walked in. Everyone else just walked in. Me, I'm getting patted down like by 10 security people to make sure that I've not smuggled in anything. Yeah, so like my experience as a speaker was probably quite different to everyone else. Also, Bunny, oh my god, welcome on in. How was your stream? I hope that it went well. We're talking about security and cosplay. Oh! There we go. How was your stream? What did you get up to? If someone's talked to you that way in other others, wouldn't you say it's rude? I don't know. No, probably not. I think it is just to make sure that everyone's safe, and they weren't like, once you were through, they'd give you a smile and pat you on your way kind of thing. It wasn't awful, but it was like very strict and very matter of fact, and everything was like now. Ah dear, there's loads of like fine things of you and jellyfish. True. Ah dear, oh god. I once wore my travelling money belt through customs before a holiday without thinking. The kind kindly explained, said he's just trying smuggling currency. Don't remember from a chat search. Oh my god. Amazing. Yeah. I have been stopped at airports a couple times, but it's always been a bit different. Whereas there it was like they actively thought like I'd done something, but I don't think they actually did. I think they just had to be like that. And then when we walked around TwitchCon, because you're not allowed to, well, at Amsterdam, you weren't allowed to wear big costumes. So like we had to be escorted around by those same security guards if we wanted to go out on the floor after we'd done our show. So we had like several security guards just with us, like shepherding us around and being like, right, we're going here, right, you here, next, form a line. So that we could get around the convention hall, and we did that for like half an hour. And it's probably the most stressful walk through a convention hall I've ever had. I felt like a prized pig. I was like, yeah, here I am. They were alright. They let us choose where we wanted to go, like when we wanted to go to Ice Alley. And like, again, it's because you weren't allowed those kind of costumes around the convention, so we had to be escorted by security. But there was definitely an experience I will not forget. But overall, I had a really, really good time. Can't say for sure, because I wasn't there, but might they just be doing that to remain professional? Acting too friendly might work against procedure? Potentially. There's a potential. I couldn't tell you because I've never had that experience before. So, like, I really don't know. Did lots of chatting and making... Oh, a stitched bookmark! Heck yeah! That sounds lovely. We've just been making mushrooms. We finished one earlier, though. Here's our purple mushroom. We're now just doing the green version. So they kind of end up looking like this. And they're toadstools and I keep calling them mushrooms. I'm so sorry. Yeah, they take a little bit, but they're fun to make. Can cashing money in the belt won't be a problem unless you carry over a certain amount. Over a certain amount, you should declare it. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Sorry, that's just me screaming. Oh, I once got picked for random inspection for this new guy they'd work in the practice, and I brought so many weird Yeah, that's always the thing with me, is I bring weird stuff. I also buy weird stuff when I'm abroad. So like if anyone checks my stuff, there's nothing bad in there. I'm just a little embarrassed, you know? Like, you can check my bag. I just kind of wish you didn't. No? I don't need you to see all this. Also, and this is a mistake that I've made many times, I always have a lot of like my dirty clothes on the top in a bag, right? So I have like a little baggie with all of my dirty clothes, and there's always on the top. So that if somebody does go in my suitcase, they're like immediately dirty clothing. And it's always very embarrassing. Like, I don't want you going through that. That's my dirty clothing. Oh my god. Love the mushroom, thank you. Toadstool. Yeah, I keep calling it mushroom as well. I've also called it that in the title, so. Like Replica 1, TV remotes, hats. Yeah. Same. It was my mum's budget for Japan. Wait, you been to Japan? You enjoyed it? I'd love to go to Japan one day. Oh, I want to eat all the food. I think I want to go to Korea first, though. I want to go to South Korea, and I want to eat all of their food. I want to go on a food tour of Asia. That's what I really want. I just want to go from country to country, eating all of the food that I've always wanted to eat there. And, yeah. Oh, that'd be so good. Like, listen, I love architecture, and I love history, and I love museums, but a food tour? I would love that. I want to go on a food tour of Asia. Oh dear. To get out of bed and to get pagan. Oh, pot noodle lunch. Listen, lunch is lunch, and when you're ill, you need that. You need that calorie. You might have got a bit more suspect due to the directness of the Dutch. Might be that they were friendly for us, but a bit of a culture clash. It could be. It could be. Oh dear. Then again, I wouldn't necessarily say that British people are known for their relaxed nature. Oh dear. I guess maybe they are and they aren't. We have many stereotypes. Oh dear. A few times, but you've been a few times. A food tour sounds amazing. I feel very shallow for saying it. I'm just like, I just really want to eat the food, but like I really just want to eat the food. I want to go to lots of places and eat the food there. And like, when I've been on holiday before, I tend to find that the bits that I remember the most are eating meals with people. And it's like, if that's going to be the case anyway, I might as well just go to places and eat food. Like, if those are the bits that I remember the most anyway, like, do the odd activity and stuff between eating, but like, well, I just want to eat the food. Like when you're a kid and discovered anime that way, the opposite of most. Listen, I'm not going to say that I'm not an anime fan, because I am. But I don't know, between the anime and the food, I still feel like I would want to go to like, okay, and this is probably because of anime, to be honest. I want to go to like a festival so I can try the festival food in Japan. Yeah. I get all of the stalls, go to that. That's what I want to do. Food has power, passion, and love. Yeah. Cooking for people is definitely my love language. Same. I love cooking for people. I don't get to do it very often because I'm normally dead. And then when I do go in the kitchen, I tend to burn myself. But I do enjoy doing it. I normally make everyone a Christmas meal every year. Well, obviously, I couldn't do it this year. This is the first year I've not done it, though, for a really long time. Oh, dear. This is that rotted fish meal. Oh, yeah, the strong fish. It begins with an S, and I cannot remember it. Yeah, that one. I want to try that one day. The what? Because I really like strong pickled fish, but I know that that's meant to smell like actual dying. And yeah, stir-stumming, there it is. I'd like to try it, but I think I'd have to do it alone because most of the people I live with are not super keen on fish. Like a couple people in my family like fish, but a lot of them don't, and so I think that might be a hard sell. What about Iceland? Oh! I really do like the idea that Iceland sells rotted fish now. Yeah. You go, Iceland. You're breaking barriers. They have an Iceland one, but that's some sort of shark. See, I don't really like the idea of eating shark. There are some animals that personally I do just avoid eating because of... well, also, I've done a lot of fundraising for like people not eating sharks, so... It would be a little hypocritical of me to go out and eat a shark. Although I guess it is specifically shark fin. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind if they ate the whole shark. It's just because you only eat the fin and it's so wasteful and it's like such a bad way of fishing as well. Like, yeah. It's not rotten, it's fermented. It's meant to smell rotten though, right? Hakala's the Iceland one. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it can, unless it's, I guess, the whole shark and then maybe It's a little different. The main issue I have is that they really just only eat. It's such waste. It's painful. It's like, I don't like that. No. And also because a lot of the sharks are endangered as well. I don't like eating endangered creatures. I feel like that's a bit of a blanket statement, but you get me. Duh. I don't think most people like eating endangered creatures. I'm vegan because I hate mass-produced with animals, but it's made me a good cook, yeah. Like, you don't want to buy vegan because it's very expensive, but cooking it's not so bad. Shark fin stuff is probably South in Asia, and I think this is the full lad. Okay, if it's the full lad, I feel less against it. I'm still against it if in any way the sharks are not plentiful or if they're endangered, because like, there is really no reason for us to eat endangered animals. There are so many other animals that we could eat that aren't endangered. Dear, there goes my music. Goodbye! There you go, come back here. I've got all these pictures of the American embassy up. God damn it. Oh dear, there's already like tinned Norwegian fish that's actually banging. I do like tinned fish. That's mainly my fish intake these days is tinned. Because no, I don't live with anyone who likes fish. Dig a hole, put a shark, and wait a few weeks, and voila, shark meal! And then the shark tree grows. Yeah, exactly. That's biology. Oh god, that looks weird. Whoa, ew. That looks weird. Like weird close-up arm. Ooh, a shark tree. Ooh ha ha. Hell yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh ha ha. You just really like shark tree. Go. Get all the sequins on there. Understandable. I also like shark tree. I like the idea of shark tree. There we are. To be fair, I don't really eat a lot of meat these days anyway. Although it's not for ethical reasons. I'd love to say that it was. Make me look like a good person, but like, nah. My stomach just can't handle it and then I throw up. Oh dear. I'm like, there's voluntary vegetarians and then there's forced vegetarians, and I am being forced. But, I still eat fish. Fish has been okay, and chicken is okay in small amounts. But the red meat, tough meat, gamey meat, Have you ever eaten jellyfish? No, and I've honestly never really had the urge to. I would probably give it a go once, but like, out of all the things I've looked at, it just doesn't look very delicious. It's very pretty. Jellyfish is beautiful, but like, delicious? I don't know. It's never really made me want to eat it. Charcuterie, isn't that the board with all the meats? Oh yeah, charcuterie. Yeah, you got it, that's charcuterie. Yay, cannibalism. We love cannibalism here. We're a very cannibalism open stream. We have open minds. Oh dear. I honestly loved calculating the deliciousness of everyone in chat. That was so much fun. For those who aren't aware, we streamed, like I did a couple streams a while back where we decided who would be the most tasty in a survival situation in chat based on like gender, weight, activity, like, because if you might be like a little bit lighter, and then you might also be like, how to put it, like, tough because you work out a lot. That's not good. If you take medication, that's a down point, and depending, I guess. Super-ish unrelated, but has anyone watched The Menu? I have not. Is it about eating people? It is? Oh no, or maybe that's just that you've watched it. Wait, there's a whole movie about that? Oh. It's not eating people. Oh, damn it. That would be such like a good name for like some sort of cannibalism horror movie or something. The Menu. Like, oh, that'd be so cool. Hey ho. Oh dear. You watched it. If you're lighter, you might be less nutritious. Yeah, you need a balanced diet for balanced flesh. No, don't worry about it. I'm always on the lookout for more cannibalism stuff. Disappointed. It's such a good name for eating people as well. There's no eating people involved. Just a cannibalism cooking show played completely straight. Yeah. Oh, dude, that kind of sounds like something that would have been on. I don't know if this is outside of the UK, but did anyone here have horrible histories growing up? Or even as a grown-up? Horrible histories. It's like it's based in history, but it's also very silly. Kind of like a comedic take on history. It sounds like something they do in horrible histories. Oh, dear. Speaking of cannibalism, you've been accepted on a cooking course, have you, Jason? Ooh, I hope you have a good time. And yes, a different British bake-off. We bake British people. Calls protect, encourage people to hydrate. They should. Starts discussion on favourite food. Discuss everything. Develops into a log pig. Bernard, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We eat Brits. I'm not good enough headspace here for another Hannibal TV. We did not, but I watched a lot of Horrible Histories in recent years. It's good. Horrible Histories is wonderful. It is. Like, a cannibal cooking show feels like something they would have done in Horrible Histories, though. Like, 100%. That's up their alley. They made history fun. Yeah, they did. They did silly songs, and, like, I don't know, they kind of made you care about it. If you didn't care about history, like, Horrible Histories will get you there. Excuse me, silent heck. And good thanks. I've been lurking while painting. Is that the tree on the back of the violin? I remember seeing the design for it, and oh, that's such an intense tree. I hope that it's going well. You guys had wishbone. What's wishbone? Do humans have wishbones? I know chickens have wishbones. I get the feeling humans probably don't. I feel like I would know about it if humans had wishbones. It'd be another really good name, though, for a cannibalism horror story. Oh, like breaking wishbones. Something else. I've been working on. Oh, okay. Got you. More of a literacy thing. It was a dog that did an old classic. Oh, okay. Wishbone is like when you order Horrible Histories from Wish. Oh, no. Wishbone. Also, 2 seconds, I need to blow my nose again. Sorry. Oh, dear. Very catchy. Oh, did it have a catchy intro? Hell yeah. Oh, dear. I know the Horrible Histories cast went on and did, they did some other stuff, because it was like a whole group. Oh, okay, wait, speaking of groups, has anyone here watched the It Goes Wrong show? I think that's what it's called. I think it is just called the It Goes Wrong show. Oh, I loved the It Goes... like, they did some Christmas specials, and they are so funny. So it's basically like a theatre performance, but every single thing that could goes wrong during the theatre performance goes wrong. And it's the same formula, but it's so funny. Oh dear. Not as good as Bill Nye the Science Guy. Hell yeah. That's just my life. But have you considered watching it in theatre format? Like a full theatrical release? Oh dear. They did the Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and then they replayed the Christmas Carol one for Christmas this year as well. I watched it again this year with my family. Before I got COVID and everything. Oh dear, wait. Did they do the thing where the board meeting set... Wait, was that them? I can't remember. That might have been one of the episodes. I've only seen the episodes like once. But I've seen the specials a few times. That might have been them. I know there were meetings. Yeah, 9 degrees. It's the title of the episode. Which one's that one? Is that like the airplane one? Or the airship, or the pilot one? Oh, no, I think actually the pilot one might be called Pilot. Ignore me. It's not that one. Oh, which one was that one? I've seen clips and it looks amazing. Oh, it's so good. Cannot undersell it. It's so good. It's really dumb, but it's very funny. It's hot and I just go, oh, it's gonna go Will. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I need the slight brain push. It Goes Wrong, the title of my life. Oh, Feathered, you'd probably really enjoy it though. It's a really good show. I think one of my favorite episodes, it's the one set in the house. It gave me big arsenic and old lace vibes, and I love it. I loved it. So good. Yeah, basically, the premise, without spoiling any of like the individual episodes. Oh, the farm cottage one was really good as well. But yeah, without spoiling any of the specific episodes, it's basically a play, like a theatre play is the idea, and they have like sets and they have costume changes and they have all that kind of stuff happening, and you have like a team of actors, some of who play multiple roles, because it's a theatre performance, right? And everything that could go wrong with that theatre performance does go wrong. Like the cast have like fights with each other, like the sets are destroying themselves, people are getting injured, people are passing out live on stage, people are forgetting their lines. Like every single thing that could go wrong in a theatre performance will go wrong, and it's so funny. It's very like slapstick, but it's very good. Ah, oh, dear. Buff double bunny. Yeah. The pilot called. Yeah, I thought the pilot might have been Pilot. The Colony Polytechnic Drama Society, but Mischief Theatre. Yes. Oh, me upset. Lego apparently had a film camera you could buy, but it was a limited time. Oh no. Heck. Damn you, Lego. Why did you not tell us? We needed to know. Oh dear. Yeah, honestly, I highly recommend the It Goes Wrong show to literally everyone. It's so funny. It's just really good. The specials are good as well, which are Peter Pan and the Christmas Carol. You sometimes see them still playing on television, like Peter Pan and the Christmas Carol, I think, play around Christmas time. But yeah, they're all really, really good. I love it. Oh dear. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Okay, possible vaguely on recent topics. I'd recommend a Japanese zombie film called One Cut of the Dead, except it's kind of meta and ravels like a problematic... Oh gosh. Oh no. Problematic hours of film production? Hell yeah. You know what? After talking about the It Goes Wrong show, that sounds right up my alley. They actually just started a Broadway production of Peter Pan. Wait, really? Oh, I want to see that. That'd be amazing. The Goes Wrong show. Yeah, Zay, have you seen the Goes Wrong show? Wait, it's combining my two favorite things. It combines everything going wrong and cannibalism. Oh my god. Hell yeah, thank you. Wait, let me just quickly copy paste it into a tab so I have it after stream, because otherwise I will forget. Not that bit, but also eating people. Let me just copy that. Yeah, this bit. Into a tab. I need that here. I'll search it so that I have it later. There you go. We're ready. Oh dear, maybe I should plan my own. Yeah, why not? Like, there's lots of editors and stuff like that where you can practice with Lego with bricks that exist and stuff. Didn't see it, but I was looking at. Oh, okay. It's very good. Don't read the synopsis. Okay. Oh, did they spoil the synopsis? Oh. I won't read it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've just got it on Google search right now. That's what I do if someone makes me a recommendation midstream. Like, I will forget it. So, either I paste it in the Discord or I paste it in Google, so that afterwards I have all these Google tabs open of things that I need to look at. Oh dear. I'm kind of glad. Honestly, I'm glad that Mischief Theatre is doing so well, because they obviously work really hard on what they do and they're very good at it, and I love it. I love it. I'm glad they're doing well. Oh. Yeah, we were watching the It Goes Wrong show during the lockdowns and it was very fun. Like, if someone recommends a book and you go, I'll put it on my list. There is no list. I do have a list for anime, but I've stopped looking at it because I started to get intimidated, because it's like 500 animes long, and like I love anime, but I'm not watching 500 animes whilst also watching currently airing stuff. Like, that's not happening. It's a nice dream, but nah. Also, some of them are like 20 years old at this point. Like, I've had them on there for so long. They probably don't hold up to what I would have originally hoped to have watched. I still need to watch some really big ones, to be honest. I still haven't watched Evangelion, and like, I think part of the reason I haven't watched Evangelion is because people used to get really mad that I hadn't watched it, so I just still haven't watched it. Because I liked watching people get mad. Oh dear. One day I'll watch it. Oh dear. The thing is, I feel like I've had the whole thing, like, not that I've spoiled the whole thing, but I've seen enough clips from Evangelion at this point that I'm like, there are definitely some things that have been spoiled for me, if not the whole thing. So, I'm just gonna continue. Like, I can reference things. I have no idea what I'm referencing, but I can do it. Honestly, it's a good reason, yeah, stay mad. I haven't seen Evangelion either, it just doesn't seem that appealing to me. That's the other thing, is it's quite a heavy show. I don't always want to watch a heavy show. Sometimes I want to watch the do-it-yourself anime, and I really want to watch it again, even though it's only just aired. I loved it so much, it was so sweet, and it made me want to be creative every single day. And like, that's pretty impressive. Sometimes I just want to watch the same show 10 times and not watch anything new. I cannot watch any heavy shows. Well, yeah, different styles for different people, isn't it? Like, I would prefer less weight in my life. Thank you. Yeah. I definitely have phases where I don't like watching so many heavy shows, and I just want something light and fluffy, please. Just a little light and fluff. That'd be great. Oh dear. But I've watched a fair few heavier shows. But you know, my favourite show ever is pretty heckin' heavy. Like, I have my favourite anime, and I'm like, I don't recommend it to anyone. You have to be in a very specific headspace, I think, to enjoy this anime, which I was. But like, maybe you're not, and then it's gonna be a really hard one to watch. My favourite anime ever is March Comes In Like a Lion. Or I think it's called Three Gatsu no Lion. It's either Three Gatsu no Lion or March Comes In Like a Lion, I think is the translation. It's my favorite ever anime, but I really don't recommend it to a lot of people because it's a fantastic show. Like, it's really, really good. The animation, the music, everything's on point. It has a lot of very visual storytelling. So there's like big times where like people just don't speak, but like you can see what's happening. You can see what they're thinking, if that makes sense. It's really very good show. But it's so heavy. It covers every heavy topic you could think of, I think. If you could think of a heavy topic, it covers it. I guess the basic premise is it follows people at different stages in their life trying to find purpose in their life and drive in their life. So it's already a pretty heavy concept. And how meeting new people and having new experiences can really broaden your horizons and like what you think you can do, kind of thing. So it does have like a positive message, but you really see these characters go through like very tough and very relatable times. And like it's not in your face gross bad or anything like that. It's just like, it's very real. It's very real, and like anyone watching could relate to multiple characters very easily. Like, and it also tackles a lot of subjects that you don't really see so much in anime, like getting old. Like, you're getting old. Like, someone who is like the oldest shogi player currently, you know, in a certain group. Why are they there? What is their drive? They're already there and they're old. Like, what happens now if they lose? Do they have anything left? It's like really heavy stuff, and like it tackles a lot of stuff that's like you don't necessarily want to think about a lot of the time. I don't know. I think it can either be like an amazing show to watch, or it can be like a really horrible show to watch, and it very much depends on like the mindset you go into it with. It's definitely not, even though it's not like a really action heavy show or anything like that, it's very like slice of life-ish. It's maybe not like a very relaxing show to watch. I think as well, like, it does tackle a lot of like being good at something versus like wanting to be good at something. So like, you can have like an amazing talent, but is that what you want to base your life off of? Bullying at school and how bullying can affect at a young age, societal pressures, peer pressures, There's gender stuff in there as well. Throw that on in there. A couple of health things. There's like it has like without spoiling anything, it has some seriously sick and disabled characters, and yeah, it's a lot. People who have had to experience death at a young age. You've got and people having to look after their family when they're barely an adult themselves. Yeah, if you can think of a heavy subject, it's probably in there. Yeah. It's a lot. What's the show? It's called March Comes in Like a Lion, or Three Gatsu no Lion. You sound so happy to talk about it. It is my favorite ever anime. Very easily. But it's definitely not an anime for everyone. Because it does follow a lot of very, very heavy topics that are quite hard to watch. Even if you know that there might be a happy ending, or that it will finish, or like things will get better eventually. I think if you can relate to any of the stuff the character's going through, watching someone else go through that can be quite rough. Yeah. But if you're not too worried about heavier subject matters, it's a beautiful show. And there's a lot of things that I absolutely love about the show. The visual storytelling when it comes to like emotions, instead of like characters breaking down crying or anything like a bit more normal, it's a little bit more abstract. Like you'll see characters drowning, and so they show like when people are struggling, like you can visually see they're struggling, and you watch that descent, like, and it's very visual. Nobody tells you they're struggling, but you know. They also use music a lot, which is really, really nice, to like set the mood, set the themes and moods and stuff like that, and silence. There's like areas of the show which are just completely silent, and it's like, it's very eerie. It's just a bit different, but it's really good. And like, I will say, I wish there was more seasons. There's 2 long seasons of it right now. It's the kind of story, I suppose, that never truly ends, because it's just life, isn't it? But it is really cool. Yeah, life is relentless, and meaning only exists where you can create it. Yeah, and like a lot of the show kind of focuses on creating your own happiness, which is a good thing, I think. Creating your own happiness is a good thing. And one person's happiness looks very different to another person's happiness. But there's normally a reason the characters had to create their own happiness. And yeah, that's where it can get a bit heavy. But I think the overall message is very positive. It's just... you have to watch people go through some nasty things. It probably doesn't help that the voice actors are really good. Like, when they do talk, they've got some amazing voice actors. But yeah. Oh, it's like a show that I can't watch very often. I think I've watched the whole show twice. And like, I've watched Made in Abyss like 10 times at this point. I will say Made in Abyss is also a really good show. I really enjoy Made in Abyss. Heavy recommend if you like fantasy that can get a little bit dark. Like fantasy with no... I wouldn't say like it's a dark fantasy, but it's a fantasy where they're not afraid for people to die. If they're being... like, if they do stuff that will kill them, they will just die. Yeah. Which I guess by anime standards does kind of make it a dark fantasy, but I think Made in Abyss has some of the best world building, like, ever. Full stop. Like, the world building in Made in Abyss is, like, top tier. If you haven't seen Made in Abyss, or if you haven't heard of it, it is a show, you know, it's set in a fantasy area, where basically there's an island, and there's a huge pit in the middle of this island, which everyone calls the Abyss, right? That's the Abyss. The pit is the Abyss. And it follows a young girl who has got a message from her mother, who is someone who normally goes down the pit and looks for like relics and stuff like that. So she's like a cave explorer, basically. Goes down into the pit constantly, but then never came back. And she gets a message that's been sent up via a balloon from her mother that says, "Meet me at the bottom of the abyss." And so even though she's very young and pretty inexperienced, she decides to venture down into the abyss. And the abyss kind of has a lot of parallels to scuba diving. It's not underwater or anything like that. But when you go down into the abyss, when you come back up, there are consequences. So you know, at the first couple layers of the abyss, you basically get the bends. So like you'll vomit, you feel really sick, you won't be able to see properly, your vision will be really bad, and you'll struggle to walk. So like, you know, when scuba divers come up too quickly, they get the bends. It's kind of the same sort of thing, but the abyss takes it a bit further. If you go down to like layers 3 and 4, you'll start hallucinating and bleeding. And then if you get down to layer 6, you can't go back without dying. There is physically no way to come back. And even at the layer 5, it's exceptionally painful to come back from that layer. So most people don't bother going down there. Louise, welcome on in. No duckies? There's no duckies right now because I've got a couple of programs running already and I don't want to tank my CPU too much. But they will come back when I'm not using my model. Also, Happy New Year! One of the best dramas I watched was billed as a romantic comedy, so tricked me into watching it. It was very funny in places, but oh dear lord, it tore the heart out of you. And the acting was on point. Yeah, the MC did actually end up with what he was suffering. Oh no! He's fine now though, but the character not so much. Oh god. Yeah, like having like really good actors, whether they be voice actors or you know, regular actors and actresses and all that, makes such a big difference. Yeah, I'd recommend Made in Abyss, but maybe only if you're okay with a little bit of injury. I wouldn't say it's a very gore-heavy show, but it's quite dangerous going down in this abyss, and people do get injured and people do die. So like, if Attack on Titan is too much for you, maybe don't watch Made in Abyss. But like, if you're cool with Attack on Titan, you'll probably be cool with Made in Abyss. Like, the whole show is not gore or anything like that, but when there are incidents, it can be quite intense. Yes. But I do recommend it. If you like horror specifically as well, I would recommend Made in Abyss. It doesn't, I think, class itself as a horror, but it fits it. It fits it for the world building. The world is horrific. And while like it's not like a standard horror, I would class Made in Abyss as a horror just because of the world. Yeah. I watch fluffy shows by entertainment, having some empathy means like shows like that mean a mark. Yeah. Oh, there was a scene in Made in Abyss that I really couldn't watch. The first time, I knew it was coming, and so I was aware of it. And like the first time I watched it, I just couldn't watch that scene. I don't know. I would not put myself as like the most empathetic person. I try to be. But it's like, that's it, isn't it? Like, people who are truly empathic don't have to try. Whereas mine is a bit more, I am doing my bestest, please be patient with me, I try. But yeah, even for me, that scene was hard. Oh dear. There we go. Wow. Oh! Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm gonna be a little bit gross off screen. Nobody knows though, because I don't have camera on. So like, I need to like file down my nail. One of my nails has decided that it's going to have like a bit of a, I don't know what you call it, like a notch in it? Yeah. I thought something was catching on my thread and it's just like the notch on my nail. Oh dear. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. It's difficult to tell. I think, because it was a really small notch, I think that'll be alright. Filing nails is gross. I don't know actually. Is filing nails gross? I think it feels really gross. Like, I used to like absolutely refuse to let my parents file my nails because I couldn't handle it. I don't think it's a gross thing to do. I think it just feels really gross. Yeah. Like, the feeling of having my nails filed, like, ugh, I hate it. I'd honestly rather cut my whole nail off most of the time than have to file my nails. Oh, they're so annoying when you get the little sharp bits. Yeah, it's like it's just catching on it. I was like, I don't want to file my nails because it's gross, but I'll do it. Ew, you guys have nails? Ew. I just painted them last night and now they look like little beetle wings. Oh my god. Heckin' cute. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't really do anything to my nails. I trim them, make sure they're a good length and that they're not too lumpy or anything. Oh, did I sew two there? Oh, That works. I bite them. I don't tend to bite them unless I'm very, very anxious. Like, I have to be in a really, really anxious to start biting them. But if I put nail varnish on, I start biting them immediately. And I think it's just because it looks like that's like on my nails. I had to get a bit to stop from biting it. Mine's the opposite. If I paint them, I'm like... You never bite your nails. That's good. It means you get strong nails. Yeah, I was growing up as a classical guitarist, so like biting nails was a big no-go. Classical guitar, not on your left hand, but on your right hand, you use your nails to play. So I was brought up with like, you take good care of those heckin' nails, Jelly. You need those, and thus my nails are pretty good. I certainly will bite others. Fair. Consensual nail biting, huh? We haven't talked about that before, but it's a conversation I can open. I don't think I've ever bitten anyone else's nails though. But then I also don't bite my own, so maybe like I'm not a good candidate for that. Probably you have to at least bite your own to really consider that. Go. And yeah, just slowly filling this bit at the bottom in. If you weren't here yesterday, this is what we did before we started the mushroom today. Maybe you're missing out. Who knows? Maybe. I'll find Shiny and I'll just bite his nails for him. You know what? I've done weirder things, I think, after stream. Most of them are questions, though. There we go. It's normally because someone on stream has said something and I'm like, wait, is that true? Let me go ask Shiny. And then Shiny's like, what the hell are you talking about? They're gaslighting you. That's not real. I'm like, no! Oh, dear. That's the normal post-stream conversation. Right. I'll do one and then I'll go for the other. I'm basically just trying to get it so they all go up in a nice line. So like, from bottom to top, but it does mean sometimes you have to stitch into another line. I think I'll do one line there and then I'll do a little bit at the side. Also, I want to drink some of my tea. It's my very, very cold tea. Ah. Delicious, delicious tea. Very, very cold though. Ah, dear. What time is it? Ooh. No, I'm really sorry. I haven't kept an eye on the time at all. I need to end stream. Oh, good God. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. They'll understand. This is why I normally tell stream when I have a deadline. I'm only like 5 minutes late. It's fine. It's fine. Shoot. Bother. Shoot and bother. We're gonna raid Sunkoi actually. Sunkoi is making a corset. Hell yeah. That's a really hard cosplay skill to be fair, and it's incredibly impressive. Oh no, it's because I get really into talking and then I forget and I'm like, I had something that I was meant to do today. It's fine. I don't normally have things. This is what it is, I think. I don't normally have like a schedule or like stuff that I need to do outside of stream. So when it does happen, I get very caught off guard. All right, really quickly, grab a raid call if you want. If you haven't met Sunkoi before, they're a very, very talented cosplayer on Twitch. They were at TwitchCon last year and they're actually aiming to be in it this year as well. They're making a corset right now for that costume. Definitely send them lots of love because they're very, very talented. Thank you so much everyone for coming by. I'm gonna go send them. Bye bye bye. Bye 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 bye.